You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 390 of the Central's favorite podcast. Jeremiah Morrill, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, coach of many things, Zach Burcham.
Good evening.
That's the excitement I always look for on a Thursday night.
I'm enthusiastic.
Made it to the beginning of the show, believe it or not. Mr. Bones, Adam Harcourt, wearing his North Kakalaki blue.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You brought some presents. You missed Patreon because you were doing things.
I'm doing important things for the show.
We're going to get into that in a moment. And Mason Riley Routinghouse. Let me give your social security number out too, or no?
I don't know if I remember it.
I've got it written down over here. Welcome back. Sitting in the big co-host chair tonight.
What's that mean?
You're in the middle. You're in the co-host chair.
I've never been over here. It's not a very comfortable chair.
It's got a lot of responsibility.
Oh.
Like we normally talk about what we're going to talk about.
Oh, today's episode includes the draft.
Yes.
Bourbon.
Yep.
The State Road 3 shutdown.
That is big news around the town.
The Indiana budget. And the most important thing, the Pope odds.
Yes. News this week. Shocking everybody. We need a new Pope, Bones.
We need a new Pope.
Need a new Pope. So we've been working on that, and we're gonna give you all of the Pope news you need. You don't need Steve Kornacki over at MSNBC with the big board.
Ooh, that would be kind of cool though.
You get us. Bones.
Can I go with Steve?
Bones is gonna go get a whiteboard between segments and a Sharpie because we're not gonna make mistakes. This show's about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we provoke you, other times we make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. There's a chance we're gonna go. We're gonna have a guest join us in the final waning moments of the show tonight as well. I don't want to overpromise, but it might just happen.
That's if we get there.
Yeah. I mean, if we run out of material or bourbon, then we're gonna be in trouble. I got to say thank yous to the folks that make this studio happen and get us on the air each and every week. That'd be John Phillips over at Wetzel Ford in Richmond, Indiana. Did you know that? Over at Wetzel
That's
Ford in
news
Richmond?
to me.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
He's a Blue Oval guy now.
Ford. Now GM?
Green Windstar.
Sales manager?
Blue.
Or is he wheeling
Oval.
and dealing now?
I think he's one of the upper management types over there. If you need something, just go see John and he's going to take care of you.
What's a Windstar?
He'll get you an Aerostar or a Windstar or a Fairlane. They've got Fairlines, Escorts.
Tour Show.
I think they have a couple of Model Ts left, but they're out of warranty.
Model A's.
Maybe. I don't want to
Wasn't Pinto one?
Listen, if you want to go to Richmond and have the ultimate Ford day, you go to Wetzel Ford, and then you go downtown. You go visit the Model T Museum, and after you cut your deal on your car, you go back over and you pick up your new Ford Excursion and drive it home. Don't take 70; it's kind of a mess.
With the Excursion, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, maybe. You got to put it in tank mode.
They have. Let's see here. They have two. They have a 1954 Chevrolet and they have a 67 Chevy Malibu.
Ooh, you can get a Chevy Malibu. So you could
for
get
how
a GM
much?
vehicle.
11 grand.
Oh, you looked at the used car market.
There's tariffs.
54 Chevys, 27,499, and the Malibu, which looks pretty nice, is $47,113.
Probably go to the credit union and get a nice 2 or 3% loan for that, right?
Yeah,
it's only $1,000 a foot.
Yeah, that's about They definitely use the wide angle lens on the Chevelle.
Blake Reese over at Varsity Outfitters. He'll hook you up with any custom merch that you want. See the Boss Hog PFGs, Luke Combs style today. Just for Mason. We had some of these made up. So check out Blake. They're open down there through the construction. Go support your local businesses. And over on the north side of town, in the unaffected area on State Road 38, is Tommy Oaks over at Walnut Ridge RV. This weekend, I'm camping with a brand new Walnut Ridge RV
Camper.
is camper. It's the maiden voyage for Kyle Robbins and family. And Tommy sold that one. I think it was an official Boss Hog sale. I don't want to say there was anything other than that could have possibly led to that sale happening. I think that that's our first one we're taking credit for.
Take the connection and run with it.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Mr. Bones, you missed Patreon.
I did.
Because you were securing a package.
Mm-hmm.
You won a lottery tonight.
Yes.
Of sorts. Pull out that big old box and let's see what you got.
Do you want
tell
the
me
first winner?
I mean, what you describe? You were there and I wasn't, so I don't know how many bottles there are. I don't know what you're keeping versus what you're gifting to the show versus what I have to pay
I'm
for.
probably in the room with 10% of Newcastle bourbon drinkers.
No,
You'd be surprised.
There's a couple. Yeah,
So I'm trying to imagine how many people would be at this.
There wasn't a lot.
My points.
That's good.
It wasn't good enough for me to get the bottle I wanted, but we did get one bottle. Though.
So that's a bottle of Colonel Taylor, E.H. Taylor. Is this a special version of it, or is this one I would find in a gift store?
It's
gift
the one
shop?
you can find in a gift shop.
So is this one that is for you or me?
If you want it, you can have it.
I mean, I have two just like it at home.
Okay, then.
But not necessarily. Maybe we'll see.
I got two of them just like it at home too.
I mean, mine are much dustier.
But it was available though.
I'm not saying no. I have friends as well. All right, so we got that. What else? What else do you have? Oh, there's a bottle with a horsey on it. There's two bottles with horsies on it.
With horses.
Bless you.
Goodness,
Three
there's three bottles. Jesus Christ.
I believe he said.
coulda got more, too.
I believe he
These are-
said that there was a text that
these
said
are-
they're giving away Blanton.
Did you get all the letters while you were there? How many?
I even
How many are
looked.
still in the car?
Didn't even look. I do have Christmas taken care of for two people at least.
I'm gonna check the old Google Drive here real quick because somebody in my family that I live with has a spreadsheet, not named me, that has the horse names on it.
Does that have your
The
last?
letters.
They have your last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
What she didn't? Where the hell? What? Why would she not save it as something that makes sense? Nope. I think it's in hers. not
So
mine.
what do you spell Blanton's,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Now, isn't it always hard to find like one specific one?
No.
And once you do it, they'll mount them for you.
Yes,
correct?
they will. You
And that's
send them in to
free?
Buffalo. I don't know if it's free, but you send them in and they'll mount them on a stave.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I know a buddy who did that.
We'll see what letters he got here. So these are grenade type bottles.
Yes.
And Blanton's always
You got a
comes
T?
from. There's a T. All right. I'll write this down. One of these, I'm not smart enough to know which letter repeats. It's an N. There's an apostrophe and there's one that's not.
If they're all T's.
S.
I was
Ooh,
like, if
the
they're
N.
all three T's, that'd be.
And a T and a T and a T. The horses are all in different positions, Zach.
Yeah.
So they're running, they're
I
galloping.
know. I've watched a YouTube.
These are
video about it.
nerds. These are.
Hey.
Ooh, you got three
we
different
different
ones.
ones.
almost spelt it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what.
I think we
letters
should
need.
go back and get the rest.
We very well could.
they're definitely not on allocation.
And these are what, $35 a piece? So
I
that's not
wish.
bad.
For you starting to wish. Yeah. Because you have all three of them. Right,
Find
I've
out.
seen the box here.
Find out what I need. All right. So the question is I guess we're going to start by drinking. I don't know. I don't want to commit to opening any of the Blantons up because I'll have to own it, and I don't know what letter I need. So we're going to let those sit for now.
Okay.
And I think we should just follow Mason's lead
Don't follow my lead.
and try his old Bardstown that he brought us because he knows this is a bourbon show. What can you tell us about this particular bottle, Bones, old Bardstown?
Will it makes it?
Okay. Will it is obviously from Bardstown because it's printed right there on the bottle.
What is that, 100 proof?
It's a bottled in bond, so that would mean it has to be 100, right?
Yes.
By law.
I haven't had this one in a while, so.
Does the bottle look durable to you, Mason?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Like
Yeah.
That's that gal.
Probably like something that we probably would have got at a quick shop. And
what shelf would this be sold off of, Bones?
it's probably a well drink.
Yeah.
Well, let's try a pour of that.
I think that's how they're going to advertise that one.
Well, there's
$3 wells.
Well, it's bourbon.
It meets the criteria to be called bourbon.
This is like the quintessential perfect version of bourbon. Bottled and bond is the most basic version of like proof and time and all of that stuff.
It'll just be a bottle and bond night
drink.
if we're not drinking the Blantons.
Because E.H. Taylor is also bottled and bond, right?
It is.
I will sip this and
notes of acetone.
We got Coke in the fridge.
There is, yeah.
You got Sprite.
You got Sprite right
It's
there.
empty.
Oh,
Go get whatever's in there. You're welcome to it. Well,
Are my O'Douls still in there?
yeah, there's a Heineken 00 in there for you from when you turned 19.
Yep.
How old are you now? 26.
I turned 26 this year. Yeah.
Show's been around a long time. Back when we used to take calls. Go get your soda, and we're going to talk about the traffic jam that has criticaled our streets.
I don't know if it's a gum in my mouth, but that's really nice.
You actually enjoy it today?
Really nice with the Icebreaker's gum.
It pairs well. Betsy remembers his 21st. Is there nothing in there at all? Are we cleaned out? There's water. There's water outside of there on the floor.
You walk past this.
Well, good. Rush County's a flash flood warning.
Yeah, go for that. That's not that old. It's that's from this century. I think I brought it at Christmas. That's a Kentucky. It's a Kentucky drink just for mixing bourbon with. I mean, bring it on over. It's fine. Bring it over.
Were you this picky when you were 26?
No. In fact, I didn't even start drinking until I was older than him. I would have just been like, sure, I'll drink it, whatever.
That's a slippery slope.
Where's the Mountain Dew? It's not bad. It's fine.
It's good.
Mason, this is a good pick. You did okay.
You did well.
I mean it.
I wanted to do a bourbon tasting with Jer because we didn't have a damn choice.
You were hostages. We were coming back from Nashville, and Sarah wanted to go.
And we went to Four Roses.
Nice.
The one off of 65.
I sat there
on
and
the way
paid
back.
$75 for a
You
bourbon
did not pay. It was like $13.
It was more than that.
It was dirt cheap. It was
Four
before.
Roses is good, though.
Let me find the Venmo transaction.
Yeah, you find that. It was the tasting room and bottling location. It wasn't the distillery.
They still sell bottles there.
Yeah,
It's actually not bad.
and the tasting was good.
Maybe I've grown up.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Now,
good.
do you want to open this? Are you okay with opening that?
You want to open it? Open it.
Is this if we open it, I own it, or is this Bones opens it and he's going to take it home?
I can open it and take it home.
All right, there we go. Do that because I want him to try.
I don't want to try that.
I want him to try the difference in a between a well bottle and a what E.H. Taylor's $70,
Yeah.
$60, $70 somewhere in there.
That's a long, skinny bottle.
It's a Buffalo Trace product.
They're underwater.
Well, so we got a story that we're going to talk about in the notes today. We'll just talk about it now. Buffalo Trace, they had the big flood, and they had fish that came up out of the waters, and they wound up in their ponds. So Kentucky University had their biology nerds. One of them happened to work at Buffalo Trace, and they went and they caught all of these fish, and they saved 250 pounds of fish. The Lexington 18 TV station went and videotaped this, and the links are if you're a patron, you got the show notes.
America. Wow, you pop cork, you're supposed to yell America.
Feel good in American. Hey, you know where that cork comes from? Not America.
No, Portugal.
We don't make it here. We don't make cork. We only have twist off bottles. So anyway, they found all these fish, and they're rehabilitating them. They're in a fish halfway house, and then they're going to get dumped back into Kentucky River. So there was some sort of a buffalo fish that looked like a carp.
Buffalo fish at Buffalo Trace.
Yes, and it lived to be 80 years old. So this is old ass fish. It was like the biggest one they found in this pond. It came out of Kentucky River, washed in a quarter miles away from the river, and these people saved it.
What if he was
Buffalo
just
Trace
looking pond?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
What if he was just looking forward to like a chill retirement?
It's just, this is where I'm going to go to die.
There's like a pond. And I was looking it up to see the distance of the river. It looks like there's a pond just to the north of it. There's like a bidder's house, and so it's down the road. So
Yeah, the video. There's a video on lex18.com that has the big story, and there's one still photo that I'm going to pull up here for Mason. These were not small fish.
No.
These were like 3-foot monsters. You'd be pretty damn excited to rip lips on these, Mason.
And they were in the building.
So I think they were just in the parking lot or whatever, and then as the waters receded, they wound up in their pond, but they weren't stocked there. So basically, the flooding dropped them in there.
like there could
Let
be
them be.
There could be, yeah, but I bet
The naturalists at the Kentucky State Aquaculture Research Team said that the water temperatures are going to get too high and the fish are going to die. The dissolved oxygen was going down in that pond, and it was going to be too warm for them to make it. So they were going to be floating before too long.
It's a fish.
But they're old
It
fish.
looks like a carp. They
big mouth buffalo fish.
They sell carp for like 50 cents at PetSmart. But they're feeder fish, just throw them in the water, they'll grow.
The big mouth buffalo is a sucker fish.
Also known as a carp.
Still don't know what
They are-
the pond is.
They are of least concern, according to the Wikipedia. They were one of the longest lived and latest maturing freshwater fishes, capable of living 127 years. Damn. Damn,
I think
people.
that's the human life expectancy now.
The
right?
big mouth buffalo is not a carp. It says it's in the
says
first
right
paragraph.
There is not a carp. Looks just like one.
They had just updated.
Looks
that.
like what they stock Highway Springs with. So,
Whew. All right, that was I got the nice bourbon hug there
from the old barge sound.
from the old Bardstown. Now for the Colonel Taylor. Now, if you're like, Forrest Plank,
Yeah,
we did a
I love
tasting on the
Forrest.
show. Forrest
Forrest turns his nose up at that.
Forrest was a big fan of the cheap stuff, and he would not like the E.H. Taylor.
No,
That was
Forrest knows how to party.
Forrest was the one that liked all the cheap stuff on the show,
Well,
and he didn't care for the pricey stuff.
it's okay. I don't need any.
You need to
just
try.
you
that
got to
little
try
bit.
this one.
There you go.
Okay,
Just
that
enough
works.
to try it.
Just enough to wipe the paint off your finger.
This should be a much more premium experience for you. And if you say it tastes exactly the same, then it doesn't matter. Smoother, definitely spicier, more like
Spicier.
like a rye, like eating rye chips versus the other. If that makes sense.
Rye chips versus
Definitely
chip?
sweeter.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
I'd hope for how much was
I
it?
could have got you a Blanton's Gold store peg. Did you want that?
I didn't care.
I didn't think you wanted to spend $200.
No.
So
No.
I did well
You did just fine.
because now you're up to 3.
we need like a little counter, like little score things that you flip the pads over, and and just so that Bones can see it, and it's on the edge of the table. And every time they open a bottle, he just flips over, and that's Jeremiah's bill so far.
The refrigerator over there is getting full.
Some
Someone
of it-
kind of hits different.
Some of it has to go home.
That first
um,
one, you it bites instantly.
You're going camping this weekend. Take a bottle.
I have bottles in the camper.
Oh. Well, Mason doesn't. I mean, Mason does have a bottle. Give him a bottle.
Mason
I don't
needs
need a bottle.
Mason needs a bottle of Blanton's.
My drinking has
Who's the new
slowed down
owner? Let's give him a bottle.
New owner.
Yeah.
of this new
Oh,
Walnut
yeah.
Ridge.
Kyle Robbins.
Let's give him a bottle.
Well, he's a professional race car driver. Do you think he should be drinking and driving?
I'd hope he can, not do one and not the other.
Maybe we will. You know who shouldn't be drinking and driving?
People going through town.
People driving through Newcastle.
Who has to go home tonight? Through Newcastle.
All of us. The So Tommy Oakes, Thomas Oakes, if we're using his government name, he was messaging me. He lives very near the barricade, the last barricade before the road is actually closed.
This was
He said he was basically ready to set up a lawn chair and watch people because the way this traffic control is set up is there is a complete and total road closure, basically in front of Hinsey Brown Funeral Home on State Road 3.
Both directions.
Five lanes across, the road
Yeah.
is shut down.
Okay.
So as you continue, if you're coming from the north side of town, so Muncie, and you continue south, like the intensity picks up a little bit of the road's closed ahead. So like at 38 and 3, there's a sign that says, hey, road closed ahead, but it's not really in the lanes. So everybody can just go through. And then you get to like south of Trojan Lane, and there's 2 barriers set up, so about 1.5 miles from the closure that are set up in the travel lane, so you have to like actively change lanes to get between them. And then you get to County Road 200 South, which is Riley Road. If you're heading, it's like the last road that's in town, and that's where they have to maintain access to the businesses that are there, but it's truly the last place to ditch to go somewhere. People are just driving around those barricades, going all the way down and going, oh shit, the road's really closed, then turning around. So like every minute there's somebody going down, turning around, coming.
Are they fixing
down,
just that side, or are they ripping all
They're
the way
going all the way
across?
across. It's a 3-week closure to rip the entire thing out and fix it
How much steel?
and knock it out. None.
0.
There's nothing for me.
Cheap.
It's precast structure and no rebar in it for me. So it's fantastic. Nobody thinks the rules apply to them.
They never do. So they're fixing all this just to come back through.
So this was designed to be a part of the scope of the major construction project,
Okay.
but then the flood happened. The same one that put all these fish at Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
Right. That flood happened and it washed out because I guess we're north of 40. It washed out. And you got to differentiate depending upon which side of 40 you're on.
Oh.
If this had been in Dunreath, it would have been washed out the culvert. But since it's north of 40, it washed out the culvert. And they said, okay, now we've actually got to shut the road down and fix it completely. So they're knocking that out. It would have been a part of the scope anyway in a phased deal. Now they just got to shut it down and fix it.
Would this flood be considered our blizzard of 78?
I mean, honestly, it's so pivotal. It's the flood of 25. It's the same. Like it's the same thing.
I think that's really just a disrespect to the scope of the flood. I think it's far and away worse than the blizzard of 78.
You're probably right.
Sewer pumps could not keep up. Septic tanks overflowed.
Kids didn't go to school for days.
Basements were
I
collapsing.
watched basements collapse. I've heard of condemned houses because of that.
People without power for days.
I've seen more boats in Henry County in that 2 weeks than I've ever seen.
So semis that would normally be traveling on State Road 3 are instead traveling down our main street, which is called Main Street. I've personally seen at least 3 truckers running down the road. Bones, as a citizen, how would you respond to truckers that are going down the main street in the road? Would you do anything about it?
No. Because the officer 2 blocks away is going to get them. I would maybe put up a sign that says you've gone now too far.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
I've been making gestures of what the hell are you doing?
Oh.
You don't belong here. There's signs that tell them they don't belong here.
because
I really hope those truckers are white.
I make them feel unwelcome.
Because they're turning on 300. And if they just kept going, they'd end up on a highway. They could go to 103. Yeah, I got stuck behind a Matco tool truck today, and he had to sit because there's that spot that's right. There might be a potential water main breaker in the area. I don't know.
Must
There's
be
an
on
area
I'm
where
quite certain there's
a standing
or
water.
we've developed a natural well, a spring.
There's
A spring near Southview.
and so they put one of those construction like sandwich board signs there, and the road is narrow enough there that if you're south of Riley Road, that him sitting there, if there's a Class A motorhome coming the other way, they couldn't both pass each other, so we had to sit there for a minute. Yesterday was not bad for me getting home from work, but today Riley Road and Main Street was a mess. I was stopped.
Riley Road was like driving over, just dodging mines.
We're not
just
even talking about
last
the
week.
fact that Riley Road has been absolutely.
I've
we talked
never
about it
seen
last
more
week,
steel plates
obliterated
on one road.
They've
by
taken them
miles.
out.
Company.
They've taken them out and filled it in with Quickcrete.
It's bad. It's bad.
wars. You know what though?
Do you think they borrowed
I guess
that
that
from
the one angle that the city should be leaning on real hard is wait for this, at least this first closure to get over with, and then force the gas company to come in and fix the road. Because you say you tore it up, but like let's just let the traffic destroy it for a little bit and then make them.
And then you have somebody just driving down Riley Road and just sinking into the ground.
So-
Now,
I reached out to the Henry County Sheriff's Department for a statement on the traumas that our town is experiencing, our town and the county.
I bet
are.
they look forward to your text.
Chief, I texted the sheriff and the chief deputy, and within 5 minutes, the sheriff said, "Yeah, Chief Deputy, you have to answer this, not me." This is an official statement from Chief Deputy Josh Smith. He says, as far as our response to calls south, it's a minor detour. Depending upon if the call is southwest or southeast, we know our deputies are taking Spiceland Pike out to 400 South to get around it. I did receive a complaint from Lee Walker, the Newcastle City Street Department, complaining about speeding vehicles on Spiceland Pike coming into Newcastle. We'll be stepping up our enforcement along Spiceland Pike. It seems like Newcastle is dealing with traffic issues more than we are. We're also monitoring County Road 300 South and State Road 3, and we're going to see how that goes.
I think the city is dealing with it. The issue I ran into today, yesterday I had no problems. And I dove off a little early, but Main Street, which turns into like something else south of 300.
Main Street Road.
Yeah, Main Street. That road's
It's County Road. It's called Main Street Road.
It
Main
is,
Street
yeah.
Road.
I couldn't remember if it was
Welcome to
that
Henry County.
simplistic of a name.
is that what it's called?
I swear to God.
Yeah, it
The one
is.
that goes out by Landmark and intersects with
Yeah.
400?
Main Street Road.
Yeah.
Main Street Road.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Well,
There's no light at
I'm a-
Main Street and 300, so I wouldn't know.
no. Yeah, you would never know.
Don't
I
really
think
have to
the signs
stop
at
if
the
you're
other
heading east
end.
to west.
So I was on, but today it was backed up. So I was on Main, and I was like, well, on the next corner, I'm going to turn. And I turned into this neighborhood next to Main Street, and people were flying through this neighborhood. And the neighborhood has
My neighborhood?
across the street, a little bit to the north,
Yeah.
or south, north and east.
Yeah.
And this neighborhood,
Which
with the
cuts-
exception of the very back road, doesn't have a straight road in it. It's kind of a maze of streets that kind of angle around here and there. And so I can see the people complaining about cars ripping through neighborhoods.
Paul Tagliabue is on a bicycle. And
That's Roger Goodell. I don't think Paul could ride a bike, but I'm really hoping he falls.
They're not doing
Oh
the
my
boat
God,
thing
what is
there.
going
Oh,
on?
I
it's
think
in
all the
Green Bay this
GMs
year,
are
isn't
coming
it?
out. Is
Is
what's
that Brett
happening?
Favre?
there's a bunch of people
I
on
can't
bicycles
see.
in.
My vision's bad.
So the NFL draft is
Is
on.
that Lil Wayne?
I think these are all Green Bay Packers.
That's Lil Wayne.
That's
I
Lil
think.
Wayne.
He's sober enough to ride a bike.
For now, the NFL draft is about to start. Bones, as a part of his contract, demanded a new TV device. So
And we got
They're
it.
going to donate
We've got-
those bikes.
we got us one.
That's what they're giving back
There
to
was
the
no grievance filed on that one.
Zach, where are we at on this? We were talking about the traumas of living in one of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, there's just cars kind of flying around. The cars I saw, there's an intersection back in this neighborhood it's a 3-way intersection with one stop sign. So there's two roads that kind of approach, and if one's turning right, one's turning left, it's debatable. And the one car just was doing like 35 or 40 through this neighborhood. That any other time is a neighborhood where you probably could roll your basketball goal out to the street and let the kids play in the street, and they shouldn't have to worry about it because there's not a thorough neighborhood that you would go through. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. I feel sorry for the people that are on these like side neighborhoods that are gonna get just run down for the next.
My street's not picking up any extra traffic. There's really no. There's, I guess, theoretically a way to cut through my neighborhood, but not my street particularly.
I bet at least the big traffic, it would look down your road and look at the trees and be like, no, because the main drag that comes up to your house is got trees everywhere.
It's a 1-lane boulevard, literally in two
with a
directions.
median. Yeah,
It's not.
I wouldn't want to take my camper down that road, let alone like a semi. But the semis do need to like.
I
find
take
a way around it.
my camper up it all the time. It's fine. I don't take it southbound, but I do take it northbound. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. The official detour truckers seem to be ignoring. I have seen more city officers out there, but I have not seen anybody getting ticketed.
Wow.
I might go get myself a ticket book and see if I can just bother people.
Everybody watch out for Karen down there.
They're gonna tear up our roads, man.
You'll see pictures.
These-
Just join a Henry County, out and about in Henry County. You'll see pictures. Don't worry about it.
Maybe that's the thing to do is you put them on blast, take pictures of them.
That's what you do.
These people, this guy's the problem.
That's what everyone
This
thinks
guy's
the
the
answer
problem.
is.
Yep, just call their boss. Call their boss.
I don't even care if they give people tickets. The best thing to do to some of these people, just pull them over, and the cop just needs to take their time and make it like a 40-minute stop.
Well,
because
they
some
do
of
it
these
to
people,
one, then
some
they're
of these
missing all
people,
the
I'm
other.
like, I would just love to like stop and be like, guess what? However important you think you are, you're absolutely insignificant, and I could put a bullet in your head right now, and nobody would even know.
Nobody would be missing
Because I just get tired of like, the people that just think that they're so important that the rest of the world just needs to yield to them, or in this case, some poor person has to worry about their kid getting run down.
You have to understand that I'm a podcaster and I'm important. Okay,
Official media.
I mean, I'm here too, and I don't.
Yeah.
I just like puttered. I puttered through that neighborhood in like first gear. I'm like, they don't need. Yeah, whatever.
You know, we don't have these problems in Spiceland, so
not yet, but someday when you get big roads
or Rushville Main Street, it is the highway, so they're used to semis out there. You know.
Yeah.
Did you not have
built for it
when Rushville was torn up, getting redone and added their turn lane all the way through? Did they not have this? Was Spencer Street not a mess?
Oh, I bet. Yes, they had that.
Yeah, Morgan and Perkins was a mess for that first 2 weeks, and then I think Spencer was a mess. Spencer's was not.
It's not your problem.
No,
you don't drive that road.
Mm-mm.
I remember that.
That's back when I lived.
I remember
that.
That
was a
couple
cool
years
experience.
Living on Main.
Mom and Dad lived on Main. I was still with them at that time.
You get to watch all the construction workers pave.
You could do anything on that. I could pee off the front porch in the middle of town, and no one would know because the road's closed.
I remember that being the case when I was a kid. Once in Broad Street, they tore Broad Street down to dirt, and we went out on it when it was still blocked off on like our scooters as kids. You just ride down the middle of the road because it was absolutely closed. There was nothing on it. People lose their minds today. They just shut Broad down for the entirety of downtown.
Mason, did you sign the petition to restore State Road 3 to its old glory?
Yeah, I clicked the link, read it, and laughed. So we'll get there.
We're going to fight City Hall. The mayor was quoted in the current edition of the newspaper. The headline was "Roads closed mean roads closed," and he said that he was still appealing to the NDOT overlords to try to get a rounded curb instead of a squared off curb for the big median lanes.
Oh wow, big difference.
It's damaging the vehicles.
I don't
learn to drive.
I assume so that they can get big ambulances up and over them, but I think if you make it too attractive, you're just going to see guys in their lifted trucks just driving down the damn thing.
The best part is my tax dollars won't go to beautify it, so I don't have to pay.
People are going to be mad.
That they're going to
people are going to be mad either way. If you beautified it and put trees up, then it'd be like, I can't drive my ambulance down the middle of this damn thing. And if you don't beautify it, you go, well, this looks ugly.
So they are ripping absolutely everything up, right?
Yep. Only material.
It needs it. It definitely does.
I mean, it hasn't been fixed in your lifetime, man.
Yeah.
I recall a comment when this came. Said a guy local said, "Give me $5 million and I'll have it done and perfect, and I'll last you years."
How much is it? How much is the project?
$33 million.
Yeah, give me $5 million. I'll have it done with my crew.
I bet the median's $5 million.
Yeah, he said, okay. So I don't know, man.
That's somebody that doesn't know how to bid work.
That's why
I almost say let's just give it to them and see what happens.
Yeah,
if I watch,
you get to go back to Rushville.
Yeah, if I watch Cars 1 the first time Lightning paves the road.
Yep.
This is the thing. Yeah.
What they say, I think one of his arguments was Florida has beautiful roads or something. They don't have weathering.
Yeah, they don't have. I've commented every damn time somebody's like, we don't know how to do this. I'm like, you don't have whatever their situation is. It's the Roman road or whatever. It's like they didn't have 40-ton trucks and they didn't have freeze thaw cycles.
Yep.
No, those two things, and biblical the flood of 2025, Mason. Those things will destroy a road. Yep. You have the flood of 2025,
and then it's in action,
and then it's 31 degrees outside, and then it all pops and cracks. Yeah. Indiana budget deal is happening. They are supposed to adjourn today. The Indiana General Assembly have been following that story since the cold, dark days of winter as they started, and last week we found out Bones are short $2.4 billion.
Had to open up some eyes.
They have they figured it out, and I think they're raising $800 million or so, raising the cigarette tax to $2.
Yep.
How's the Chantix going?
Good. We're good. Everything's fine. All right. Stop looking at me, goddammit.
Bones, he's trying to get rid of one vice so that he can afford to keep the bourbon business in place while the tariffs are there and Canada can't buy any. So he's given up his $40 a day cigarette habit so he can buy an extra bottle of bourbon every day.
Hey, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's one that I grew up with it all around me. And Jerry, I know you did too. It's one of the worst things ever.
Cigarettes.
Can't stand them.
You just hate the farmers, man. What about the tobacco farmers in Kentucky and Virginia, North Carolina?
I don't think I affect them directly.
By not smoking them.
They'll be all right.
Those people are losing. They're losing. It's bad for the economy to stop
So
smoking.
you were really never part of the cool kid group then, right?
What do you mean?
The
Like just
smokers.
smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I didn't, but definitely, I don't know. I never had a problem with it, growing up because I was around it so much. And now, like, you smell it, like, you identify it like that because you're not around it anymore.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely come to find that if you haven't already,
Oh, yeah.
right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, if I get in a car with somebody that's
It's
smoking
like,
in the car, or the worst thing is a road trip with somebody that's a smoker while you're in it.
It used to be like, I don't smell anything. You guys smell
Well,
something?
it's a whole lot better than taking the road trip with the person they can't smoke, and you got to stop every hour.
That's also that is the thing is that although I have to piss every hour anyway, so it works out.
Oh.
I went to an NFL game it doesn't matter if you're indoor or not at this point, but an NFL game with a smoker, and I'm like, well, I sat through the damn thing half the game by myself because he'd have to go out and smoke and come back in, go out and smoke, come back in. I'm like, this is a waste of a ticket for him.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to cost, I think, $36 for a pack of Marlboros now. So
A pack?
Yeah. I bet we're up to $15 a pack of Marlboros after all this is said and done.
Holy shit.
can I bum a cigarette?
What are they now?
Yeah, for 75
Is that why
cents.
People are smoking like Lucky Stripes and 24/7s now, or because they can't afford Marlboros.
That's deep. That's deep into the cigarette counter right there. 24/7s.
I've seen them.
Trailer park shit.
That's trailer park. That's Golden Pebble Estate.
That's Old Bardstown deep.
So I mean, is that
Because
why
Nana's going to need that bottle back.
Is that why they're smoking that stuff? Because they can't buy Marlboros anymore?
Listen, my family was so poor, my uncles rolled their own.
I don't think we ever got there, but I tell you what, I've never seen or saw, however you say it, I've never seen anything than a Marlboro in my family, and we were poor, so.
In the 90s, all my dad's stuff was Marlboro Miles purchased. There were
I don't know how many
coolers
duffel bags
and
coolers we
jackets.
had.
Yeah, all of that
I
stuff.
wonder if he still has them.
I bet there's still some stuff rolling around in the attic.
I bet we could probably make a pretty penny off some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I bet it's well used.
Dad had a duffel bag.
I don't think there's anything new in the box.
Put this table in. It was huge.
School vouchers are going to be happening in 2 years as like a $95 million addition to the program. So they did find that money. And I think they're cutting public health by like 75% as well. Raising the cigarette tax, cut public health. It works out. Everybody's better off. And legalizing weed. Chase was very excited last week.
Not so excited.
They are not moving forward with that.
But the good news is the pick's in.
Oh, the Titans pick is in, and they're going to take Will Levis. Have you looked Will Levis up on Twitter lately?
It's got a cannon, dude.
Here comes Roger.
It's not about that. There's a tape that was released that was not football related.
You think this is a football pick or the Pope pick?
Oh, I got Ratzinger in the third.
I mean, how awesome would it be if they picked the Pope and they announced it on the NFL draft? They made a deal like, "Hey, got white smoke. Here we go."
Cam Ward.
Quarterback Cam Ward, Miami.
How's that got to feel to Will Levis right now? How do you think he feels?
I think he felt the same way when he kept falling down the draft board that night. And he was still the only one there.
Will Levis should probably feel not too bad because his
Will
team,
Levis will be second string and not play in Tennessee next year.
His team was so bad they had the first pick in the draft. So life is what it is.
Didn't he put mayonnaise in his coffee?
Yes, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
See, that's why you're not playing.
I mean, listen, you get eggs and you get oil. Those are all essential things.
Raw eggs. At that, right?
Athletes drink raw eggs, man. Ask Zach. He does it every morning before he runs a mile.
Sure. Do you?
No.
I've always wanted to try it.
I know it. That sounds disgusting. Textures get to me.
If textures get to you, you're out.
Yeah.
You're not a oyster guy.
No.
My favorite.
I don't want to do a raw oyster, but when we were in Baton Rouge,
That's the first time I ever had them, and they were delicious.
And we had baked oysters; those were damn good.
They were barbecue flavored, I think.
Yeah, they were
delicious.
garlic oysters, baked oysters.
Have we ever tried them raw?
No.
Yes and no. I personally like my snot cooked. Okay, before I'm going to consume it.
Okay. I don't.
I have a no filters, no fungus policy, and then I also
eat chicken livers, dude.
And I also because I'm not
chicken livers.
I don't because I'm not from the trailer park. But I also
you just said you were poor that your parents rolled their own cigarettes.
No,
that doesn't. They're just
no.
His uncle.
I will have you check the tape. My uncle.
His uncle.
Oh
yeah.
So you're kind of from the trailer
from
park.
Winslow, Arizona.
I'm trailer park adjacent.
So you
when my parents. Sure, why the hell not? When my parents were married, they lived in a trailer.
Okay,
but so I was conceived to a trailer home.
All right.
However,
they had to upgrade it by the time
they were no longer living in trailer.
Modular.
Now our family just goes to trailers on the weekend. We're weekend
full
trailer
circle.
People. Yes, the trailer is the second.
And we
home.
Can't try chicken livers.
Chicken livers.
No filters. No fungus.
I used to bring tubs of chicken livers and gizzards for Kevin and I to eat. And
you'll know what you're missing. No, I'm glad you don't.
Least chicken.
That leaves more for us.
You enjoy that. You're from south of 40.
I don't need them either.
Fried chicken livers are the best. Actually, fried chicken hearts are the best.
Listen, do you realize that what a liver and a gizzard did is it just filtered out toxins?
You understand livers, like every animal, when they kill something, they want to taste the liver first.
Yeah.
You're just going off what you saw in the movies, Bones.
No, actually,
they've lived for thousands of years.
Random internet thing that's sometimes orcas will kill like a shark, or whatever, and all they'll eat is the liver, and they say they can remove like surgical precision, and they'll leave the rest of the fish for something.
Have you ever seen like the lions kill something, like in the National Geographic or whatever, and the male lion gets to eat first, and he goes right for the organs?
I don't mind chicken livers.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have traded with the Cleveland Browns.
There we go.
For the number 2 pick. They didn't take, obviously, the Browns are happy with Watson at quarterback, so they're trading out of that pick.
They're happy with Massage Boy, huh?
But holding a liver.
Oh, and Jameis.
I'm sure it's going to be a happy ending.
They got Watson and Crab Leg Boy.
The crab leg comment is only funny to you and I.
Oh, okay.
We're old.
Oh,
Mason doesn't even know.
Jameis Winston. Did he go to the Jags?
No, he's been in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Cleveland. That's right.
He's a Brown.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
New starting quarterback.
Shiny object. Where were we?
Chicken
livers.
No.
Yeah.
Not
beef liver. Ray likes beef liver.
I love beef liver.
I just can't. I hunt deer, so when we're gutting
your
a
liver's
deer,
got to be good.
It's a bunch of picks and no
I've
names
held it
associated.
raw, so I don't think I want to eat it. I wouldn't be opposed.
Just like any
but
other
it's
liver.
weird. The texture on it's
Zach,
weird.
you can no longer run for school board in Indiana.
Yeah.
In a 26-24 vote today in the Indiana Senate, and assuming that Governor Braun, who is afraid to veto anything, signs it, then the school board races will now be partisan in the state of Indiana. You'll have an R or a D, or you can leave it blank if you want to.
We're dumbing down the ballot for more uneducated voters.
Yeah. You might accidentally elect a Democrat, so you got to put that on there.
Yep, we can't have that.
There was a protest at the governor's mansion.
That's right. He's not there.
Which one?
Well, I think it was the one in Indianapolis. It wasn't his summer home in Brown
Jasper.
County or his weekend home in Jasper.
Gotcha.
Good thing they put that helipad in, though, because that semi burned. I'm assuming Jasper is in Jasper County, because that semi burned, and it burned the road so badly that they had to completely.
No, those are totally different parts. Jasper County is up north.
Yeah.
Jasper, Indiana, I think, is Du Bois County?
Du Bois.
County?
That's it. Du Bois.
Yeah.
Damn,
Just
that's
like
good.
Franklin County and Franklin are not the same.
Dude,
Yeah,
I have
Franklin is Johnson County, right?
And then Brookville's Franklin County.
Yep.
Decatur's
Franklin County.
in
Decatur, what? Indiana?
Decatur, Indiana is northeast,
Is
near Fort Wayne, but Greensburg is in Decatur County.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
The only one
Marion
right
County has
Rush
Indianapolis.
is Rush and Rushville.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's right.
Russia.
It's the only one that's right. Everyone else is wrong.
Sounds very Indiana.
Let's get back to the show before Jeremiah gets
92
mad.
counties.
I don't give a shit at this point. The
He's going to take his show and go home.
Jasper, Indiana is home to the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame.
And Jasper Wildcats, yeah.
Scott Rowland.
Scott Rowland is from Jasper. Yeah.
I don't think Mason's as young as you think.
In 2000, no, he's listened to a lot of talk radio, and he's a baseball player.
Oh, okay.
In 2007, they moved to the Eastern time zone from the Western time zone. Those people lost an hour of their lives permanently.
Yes.
Thanks, Mitch Daniels. No wonder he had trouble down there.
Didn't take the bus down there, dude.
No, but he built him a new interstate. You can take I-69 all the way down to the Patoka River.
The Patoka River.
Did that
Patoka
bridge.
Lake.
You want a question on this?
No, I don't.
Patoka River is...
Once you said bridge, I knew it was out.
We did a 3/4 mile long bridge. It's at where the time zone changes.
Oh, okay.
It's just north of Oakland City, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Do we have Indiana's at different time zones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Evansville, right? Is in
And
Evansville.
and
in the
Valparaiso,
region.
up
Yeah.
there where your
Up north.
doctor's at.
Yeah.
Region West Chicago. Yeah.
That's by Chicago, right?
She's an hour behind you.
Yeah.
Ask her if she's slow.
Well,
next
I
time.
always know because it takes, if you're going south, it's like right before Bowling Green. Before is when the time changes.
Christy Avery says Decatur, Indiana is Adams County, her hometown.
Go home.
Be nice. Be nice.
She's
That's what
correcting
Jeremiah
us.
says to his truckers.
No, I
She-
give them the Midwest salute.
she.
Hey, Christy,
You don't belong
here.
here.
Is that where the Back 40
That's probably
is?
right. Yeah.
I think I've been to Decatur. There's
What?
a restaurant in Decatur called the Back 40
Did-
back in the day.
So there was a
you say-
protest at the governor's mansion. Andy Horning led it. It's very 2007 of all of it. Andy Horning ran for governor back in like 2000. He's been a guest of this show, I think, twice. But Andy led the big protest. People are upset over the property taxes, and nothing's going to happen. But damn it, they got on the front yard and said, "We don't like this."
One more interesting fact: there's a Decatur Central High School, and
That's
it's
like northern Indianapolis, right?
That's
southern
Decatur.
I think it's
Township.
Decatur
Yeah,
Decatur
that's
Township,
Decatur
Marion
Township.
County.
Yeah.
By,
That one makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
by Man Road,
yeah,
High School Road.
southeast side.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Been over
the,
there.
the General Assembly did pass the law that's offering to take in a bunch of Illinois counties,
I saw that.
and
That won't ever get signed.
we're going to have to figure that out when Decatur, Illinois, becomes Decatur, Indiana 2.0.
Oh, this is gonna
Which
be a-
Decatur do we get to keep?
We need to keep one.
But somebody's got to change their name.
No,
Do they?
Do we reassign it? Do we change the name? Maybe one becomes Braunville. We name it after Mike Braun.
Is there any towns in Indiana that repeat themselves?
yeah,
I
None.
believe Hillsboro repeats.
Okay.
I believe there are 2 Hillsboroughs, but I don't think that the other Hillsboro has a
Travis Hunter, second overall to the Jacksonville Jags,
cornerback wide receiver. He's going to have to pick a team, man.
He's going to have to pick a different color seat
the
than
one
and maybe get
highlight or
some
pink.
a different like
The man
plastic
is
surgery.
dancing live on Espen.
Who's the player that said that he was like going to refuse to play unless he could play both ways?
I don't know, probably him.
No.
It's like wide receiver and cornerback.
So Travis Hunter played for Colorado, which would have been another neon Deion Sanders team. Mason, the reason I wanted you on this week was to talk about the new pope, because I know you were very seriously consider the religious things.
Are you Catholic?
Twice.
Oh, damn.
Did you have you studied up? We found an infographic that indicated that there were some odds, and I thought, well, with this crowd,
I'll take the guy from New York,
there
the
are
first American pope.
there are a number of names that are plausible. We found, I think this was DraftKings, had a Pietro Parolin with a 40% chance of being the next pope. He's currently serving as a cardinal. There's another guy, Luis Antonio, who's a cardinal. They're all going to be our cardinal.
Well, they all got to be cardinals.
No,
Got to be deemed a cardinal to be
No.
a pope.
that's not true.
Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not.
A cardinal gets to vote, but they
Cardinal
can
gets to
choose
vote.
any Catholic male. Zach could be pope.
I'm not Catholic.
I'm Catholic. I'm self-proclaimed Catholic. I've been to Catholic church.
I will do whatever it takes if they want to like me.
Imagine.
I mean, listen.
Imagine.
The show will allow you to become pope, but we still are going to need you here at least 3 out of every 4 Thursdays.
I drive the Pope mobile
so-
down here.
So there is
I think you can take the Pope's charter plane to Newcastle, and then we'll drive the Pope mobile up.
Okay, but there is somewhat of a precedent. It says you don't have to be a cardinal You have to be a baptized Catholic male, although only cardinals have been selected since 1378.
See,
They've had a long run.
It's been a run.
In this graphic you have two, I don't know where they're from, black individuals.
There are chocolate flavors, and there's one from Indonesia.
Pope Gregory X was elected without being a priest.
Could this be the first pope that is not white?
I mean,
or
maybe
American?
I mean, the current pope was the first. The most recent pope was the first one that was of American.
He was Argentinian.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, the guy from New York has some odds for him.
But no, we have never had a black pope.
That's what I'm saying. And they got these guys in the running. So this is theoretically like a 2008
Betsy
election.
Mills wants to really make sure we know that Joe Biden is eligible. I think he's
got leadership skills.
I don't know if he can spell pope.
I don't care. I like that pick.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, go ruin another.
If you're a cardinal and you want a chance of if this isn't your year, you need to go pick a Joe Biden type where you go, you know what? I don't want to pick
you another shot.
I don't want to pick a 43-year-old pope because I'm out.
Totally redeemed yourself.
But you choose a 78-year-old pope. You go, 2 or 3 years down the line, I might look a little better.
Yeah.
So
plus everyone gets ice cream.
Pietro Parolin. He's Italian.
Ice cream.
70.
Joe Biden's not eligible.
Why not?
You have to be under 80.
Oh.
No, that's to vote. That's to vote for cardinal, but they could pick anybody, I think. But to vote as a cardinal.
I am of the Catholic.
I guess, I heard the under 80. I was trying to double check.
So
I bet they want somebody under 80, though, because they want somebody who's going to live longer than a year.
I've never seen a young pope.
I don't know. I'd fit in those robes pretty good.
213 of the 266 popes have been Italian, but we haven't had an Italian pope in 40 years.
Italian.
So that was the dude that had a 40% chance. Parolin, 40% chance. Italian guy, Luis Antonio.
Who's that dude?
He looks
Luis
like a
Antonio
character.
Tegel, 67, Filipino.
Might be the youngest pope ever.
He could be the first pope from Asia. Why
are they giving Asian
the
better
church,
odds than Americans?
Because of the amount of religious folks that are Asian. 80% of the
scandals a couple years ago.
80% of the Filipino nationality is Catholic. So they got a strong voting bloc down there.
Is that by choice?
They're like the Texans.
Pronounce that one.
BBC, which
what?
I don't know if that
which is
what?
The British Broadcasting Company.
Oh, from the BBC. Not the Pope's name. You were calling him BBC.
The BBC has indicated this individual. I will say the name in a moment.
There's a really good chance we have Mason doesn't get back in my
Oh my goodness. Fridolin. How you pronounce that?
He's Congolese. Fridolin Mbongo Bisungo. I think he also played inside linebacker for the Lions in 77. 65 years old. He would be the first pope from Africa.
No shit.
I will say that the BBC indicated he has a chance, but he wasn't on the DraftKings scorecard, so I don't know. That once again is
my bet's on that guy.
Bisungo.
No.
Hang on. There we go.
Guy.
I got some more. We got some more names here.
Jim Gaffigan on the board.
Jim would be a fine pope.
He would.
He did meet the Pope.
He's met the Pope. He's
and you know what?
The Pope. He's very Catholic.
Jim Gaffigan met the Pope. He made it through. J.D. Vance met the Pope.
Pope died.
Pope didn't make it past Easter. Peter Turkson.
You know why?
From Guyana. 76. He would be the first African Pope in 1,500 years.
You didn't perform his say his two middle names.
I'm sorry. He's not a serial killer. We don't have to say his middle name.
Peter Codwo Apia Turkson.
Yes. He was a 6% chance according to the selection we had here.
Go with PT on him.
Turkson. Now Peter Erdo
is the winner.
Peter Erdo, 9% chance. Hungarian.
He's a
Where do
closer.
you see their chances at?
This is on the infographic I provided with you earlier in the week, and it's in the show notes. So if you're a patron at bosshoggerliberty.com/Patreon,
So they've got
I've done some handicapping here.
we got Peter Erdo, and he has a 9% chance to
We
win.
can. Peter's a closer. Everyone's going to come out of the gate and set a hot pace, and then Peter's just going to come in at the end.
He's going to come in off turn 4.
Yeah.
Now he has been a pope candidate, right? A cardinal, since he was 51. So he's in 21 years. He's been there, meaning he predates this pope. So he's old. He's an old selection. Angelo Scola, 4% chance.
he'd be the first pope with glasses.
No
I think
glass
all
dude had
popes-
glasses.
I think all,
Once you reach a certain age,
you know,
glasses
Buca de
just come with the
Beppo
territory.
is going to have to replace all the popes in the pope room. By the way, this is going to be very expensive for Buca de Beppo. Sell their stock now. They're never going to afford it.
No.
Only
No,
cardinals under 80 can vote in the conclave, but Scoda could be elected. He's 83, and he was the Archbishop of Milan. The
Oh.
one in Italy, not the one
The
in
last
Indiana.
time somebody, we can't.
I know you said Milan, not Milan. I understood.
Reinhard Marx.
That sounds too
It's not
aggressive.
good.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he-
they changed their name, but still.
Marx. Where's he from?
Right? You want to guess?
I want to
Germany?
say Pittsburgh,
Reinhard Marx.
the Deutschland.
Germany.
He could be from Wisconsin.
He's from the right.
He's German.
Yeah.
He's a top cleric and a Vatican insider. 71 years
Oh,
old.
TMZ.
He
for
did
the
not.
Catholics.
He did not make our list. Mark Ouellet. That's a Canadian dude. I know that name. I remember him from the last time. He's 80.
Mm.
Ouellet he was a potential pope in 05 and 13. He is the Joe Biden of the group where
So
he ran in 88 and then again in 12. So yeah.
So
Mark
is the
Ouellet.
Pope the leader of the religion?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
do
They are-
have any,
You're the Catholic.
They are
Leads the Catholic Church.
They lead the Catholic
lead
Church.
the Catholic Church.
They pick all the cardinals and they are God's
Because
representative here on
Catholic
earth.
is like the most popular religion in the world.
That's what
correct.
they'll tell you.
And so, how's come all these other religions don't have leaders? Do they? And we just don't care about them?
I mean, they do.
But they're like the guy who just sits at the desk.
The Dalai Lama had an important
Well,
job.
like-
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that guy.
Buddha.
Do we have. You're elected Buddha.
Robert Provost,
Ooh.
American,
Is he the guy from New York?
Chicago-born Cardinal Provost. He owns a bus company.
That's Prevost.
It's the same spelling.
It's Prevost.
2 years ago, Pope Francis chose Provost to replace Mark Alouette as the guy that chooses the bishops. Your first American Pope,
I like him.
Robert Sarah, not Sala. Different. This is the Guinean version. Robert Sarah, not Robert Sala. 79. He's on the list.
That's guy looks like he.
This guy,
Pizzabella.
Technically,
Bat-
everyone's on the list.
Pier Battista Pizzaballa.
very Italian. Pier Battista
He's named
Pizzaballa.
after a damn pizza, dude. He's Italian.
He owns 36 Marco's Pizzas franchises in Michigan and,
He moved to
and
Jerusalem.
Wisconsin. Ordained when he was 25 in Italy.
Damn.
He's on
It's
the
a
list.
long
I mean,
time
with
without-
that name, you got to give him a shot.
It's a long time to go out and getting laid.
Michael Cernsey, 78. No, that's not exactly what that means.
Oh. You sure?
Supposed to. They just have to say, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Michael Cernsey, 78, Canadian. Another Canadian chance here.
Czechoslovakia.
And that's the end of
where he
it.
lived.
So they're doing the mourning now, and then we pick the new pope. Is one of these guys going to be it? Nobody knows. What would your pope name be? Y'all thought about what your pope name would be?
Oh,
when
you have
choose?
to change it.
You
don't
choose. I mean, you're supposed to change your name.
to a biblical name.
It could be anything.
I'd be Pope Jeremiah.
Pope Jeremiah. I mean, that is a biblical
That is
name.
biblical.
See,
Yeah,
I had him's pretty biblical. I just go to Adam.
just Adam.
Pope Adam. Aren't they all
First name
Francis?
in the book.
I mean, Francis was the first Francis. He was the very first Pope Francis.
How many pope? What are the most popes do?
I think John's a pretty common name.
Pope John.
Yeah.
John Pope.
We had John Paul I, and then immediately. So John Paul died after like 30 days.
Has there been a Pope Paul?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was the first pope.
Pope Peter.
Yeah, I think we've had all of this. So the first John Paul
The
died.
first pope was Peter.
Oh.
For your Catholic history there.
The most common pope name is John. There have been 23 Pope Johns. There have been
Well, that was just in the last 15 years.
16 Pope Gregories, 15 Pope Benedicts, and 14 Pope Clements.
So yeah, Benedict was the pope we had that retired. He was the first pope to just step down.
He's
You
been whisked
retired?
off.
I thought you died as Pope.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to, and he has to step down, and so he's like semi-secluded in like a little apartment in Vatican
dead now.
City. Oh, is he dead? Yeah, but he
Yeah.
was for a while. But he was like,
No,
not
unless
like-
he just walked in. Nope, that's
they,
not the
They
pope.
just kind of like locked him away for the rest of his life
Because what?
because he stepped down. And you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, so he just stepped down on his own?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to do that.
I feel like
So they just kind of whisked
had
him.
to have had a good reason.
He was getting old.
I don't care how old you are.
You don't have to use the headphones if you don't want to, Betsy.
He was also
Is it raining out there?
Scandals.
Oh, Mike's. Turn that mic on, Zach.
I've done that.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah,
Give us your excuses.
Got caught by the same train twice, once in Mount Summit and then at the track south of Summit. So
Did you wave to the people?
No, I just tried not to get pissed off.
Welcome,
Hello.
Betsy Mills, special
Sorry.
guest. Glad you're here.
I heard you guys were talking about popes. I have thought.
We're still on the Pope topic, so you can give us that.
Evidently, you're not allowed. Is the only thing we've really found out. Is that
Because I'm a
not
lady.
allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, good rules, guys.
But
No, it was the lesbian thing. That's why they said no.
Oh,
It's kind of a surprise.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Damn
mean to say that. That's how you were identifying.
Is that how it's going to be around here? That's a job I don't want.
It's a job I do want.
Okay.
So
What have you been doing to get ready for your ascendancy as Pope?
I could ride around that fucking Pope mobile like nobody's business.
Glass up or glass down?
I don't care.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they've taken a shot at a Pope before in my lifetime.
I think let's glass down, take your best shot. If they hit,
Then you go straight to
God
heaven.
will tell you to turn your head at the perfect moment to nick your ear.
exactly, and then I'll get to go down as the Pope that got shot.
Fight.
Are you
Here.
comparing Trump to the Pope?
Oh,
I
Is
am
that what I'm
not.
hearing from you?
No, Mason is.
If he was- That would be a way out of this for us as America. If Trump became Pope, we'd be done. It would be over, and we
I
could
don't-
move on.
You can't give that salute on.
Checkmate.
It'd be done.
Can't
One
keep
thing
doing that.
And
One
he would
thing-
belong to the Italians. He'd be gone.
Be careful with your gestures. I feel like we're veering into.
yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to come
heart's
across like I'm JD Vance.
Um,
I think she's
the one,
more worried about
the one
Elon
thing you
Musk.
guys haven't mentioned is that a lot of the church views Pope Francis is so liberal that they have to, and they tricked the I don't know, they think that he was deceptive or whatever, so they're going to get the most conservative guy possible.
But-
to kind of backtrack.
I don't know. They might go. They might keep the track going.
But
Are you
Francis
saying they
appointed
killed
like
him?
100 of these people.
Yeah.
That was so I had that same thought, and I thought, well, hell, 110 of the 180 people to get to vote were picked by him. So it's not necessarily.
Oh, that's
did
like
he
what
actually-
Trump does. He just
Did
hires
he actually meet Vance? Because I heard.
Yeah,
he
he met him and
Okay.
literally died that night.
and died.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have
'Cause I
not
heard-
seen the memes, my man.
I've seen the memes, but I thought I saw a statement originally that he said he didn't.
Yeah,
he refused
first,
to meet him
the first night
and
was
rele-
no,
and
the
released a
second night was
statement
yes.
about having some compassion for human beings or something like that. And it was like, so in that case, it's like being a pope would be in this last whatever 100 years, and one dealing with the abuse issues, but also just trying to march the fine line of keeping your people happy, but also trying to bring your religion into the 21st century has got to be horrendous. That's a rough job.
Yeah, but Vance met with the Pope, and then Haggis
Pope
had a
died.
text trend about it, or the Secretary of Defense. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah,
Oh
Headset?
yeah,
he sent it out on Signal.
Yeah.
with his wife checking his.
I'm pulling for a Canadian. They need a break.
They don't.
They've had a rough
Mm.
couple months.
I'm
I-
going the African pick.
I think the Canadians are kind of living their best life right now.
I
Like,
mean,
they're dealing
I'm
with us,
wondering
but
who
they-
the next prime minister is going to be.
Me.
No one paying attention to that.
You take over the Pope. I'll be
Yeah,
over in
it's-
Canada.
We got a big Canadian election this
Absolutely.
week.
Me and Mason got this covered.
I, for one, really like the conservative candidate.
Well,
Pierre
you
Poilievre.
would.
No, he's pretty awesome though, and like the conservatives in Canada are like blue dog Democrats here. So
Sure.
Hey.
Sure.
yeah, well, better than Trudeau.
So Trudeau, like, obviously he's stepping down.
He's already
He
down.
did, yeah. He's
There's
already
a new
down?
guy,
Yeah.
Mark Carney, who's been in for a few weeks.
I only care about
Since
America, so I'm learning now.
well,
but-
but you don't care about America's hat, Canada?
But
I'm going.
So,
I'm going Mark
when
Ouellette. And I'm
was-
putting $10 on
so
it.
when would Trudeau's like term be up if he would have finished it? Is that a thing?
Their elections are weird. I don't understand that
the
at all.
Canadians, their prime minister is basically whoever their
Party leadership is.
yeah. They're basically like whoever their Speaker of the House leads the government. So they're in indefinitely as long as they win
As
their
long as the
home
majority
district,
or
essentially,
whatever.
and their party's in charge. So it would be like for the longest time, if there's a Senate in charge, Mitch McConnell would be leading the country. Until he just stepped
Imagine.
down. That would be it.
Imagine.
Whoever the old guy is that leads.
We can't.
But they
get rid
usually
of
don't
old white
put
dudes.
people that
okay?
old. Yeah.
No, that because of the health system, they just die off. They never make it that old, die waiting.
Interesting.
Zach is in the chat. You said 1/3 of the popes that have walked away have been Benedicts.
Yeah, it said. Well, Chris Dayton said, "Haven't there been 6?" And I looked it up, and it was like, "Yeah, there have been 6, and they've been I'm not even gonna put 2 of them. Yeah, Benedict the Ninth, and I thought there were 2.
Oh, I thought he said.
Benedict the 16th.
The new pope would be what, 265, I think?
Yeah, so that's the thing is this is damn near impossible to remember all these people.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you remember all the presidents?
yeah, I could get you the presidents at least.
He might not be able to do
It says
presidents, but I know
there
he
have
can
been
do every
260.
IndyCar.
He had a football
Indy
team with them on
500
him.
one.
We had a whole segment of presidents doing in what position of football. They
What
would
about
play.
Indy 500 winners?
He knew
Since
it.
1941.
Which years did Rick Mears win?
Rick Mears won in 70,
9.
either 78 or 79, 84, 88, and 91.
I used to have a shirt
That's
with
pretty
all the winners
impressive.
on the back, and he would just randomly
No,
we'd walk
it's not
in places.
impressive. That's dorkiness.
No, it's
Don't
impressive.
highlight that.
I mean, I'm not like super into racing, but that was pretty badass.
Rick Mears is 70. Either AJ was Rick Mears was 78 and AJ was 79. No, 77. I'm a little rusty. Give me a second here. Rutherford 76, 77 would have been John Cock. It goes Rutherford, Mears, Foyt, John Cock all in there, but I don't remember the exact ones at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not great at that.
I think it's 78. Gordon John Cock from Michigan.
John Cock.
Gordon Johncock. Nice name.
It's a whole lot better than Gordon Lightwood.
Lightfoot.
Or Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle. Yeah.
Gordon John Cock is an outdoorsman.
Gordon John Cock.
He's a woodsman. Up. He's in his 80s now, but he's a recluse up in Michigan.
Which year are you wondering about?
70 is it 78? 79. He won 79.
Yeah, Ellen's senior.
There you go. That's the one I
that.
missed. Yes.
I called that one.
That's a
I was
heavy
gonna say
hitters
that
row
first.
right there because it's
It
like
did.
Johnny Rutherford, AJ
Bones
Foyt,
beat
Al
you.
Unser, Rick Mears, Johnny Rutherford, Bobby Unser, Gordon John Cock.
Gordon John Cock.
82.
He beat Rick Mears in 82.
Wow.
Closest finish until
Could've
10 years later.
walked and beat him. Those cars were slow.
Well, later on, Rick couldn't run for shit because he had a bad accident. Did up in Canada. It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
It all
Canada, man.
it
was
all
in
comes full
attendance.
circle.
When your feet are the crumple zones, Rex can be
Canada
rough.
sucks.
We're supposed to be talking about what Bones did today, but all the bourbon's on the table. Betsy, if there's a little shot glass here if you want to try some brand new E.H. Taylor,
Or Old Bardstown.
or there's some old Bardstown that Mason stole from his nana.
Or we have Jeremiah has a bottle of Blanton's over here.
There is.
Hasn't figured out which letter he wants
Yeah.
yet.
I don't know what letter I need. Betsy's following
I'm
along.
still hung
I
up on Jordan.
Still never
Gordon
got an
John
answer.
Cock.
What was
Answer
it?
to what?
Gordon
Gordon.
Gordon.
John
Gordon John Cock is a 2-time winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Jordan John Dick.
Cock. Jordan John Dick.
John Cock won in 82. Tom Sneva in 83. Mears in 84. 85 was Danny Sullivan with Spin and Win. 86, Bobby Rahal. 87, Al Sr. with his 4th win.
So we have the draft happening right now.
88, Mears. We already talked about that.
Hey, has Sanders been drafted yet?
Yes.
No, he hasn't.
Oh no, that's
Lying.
right.
Travis Hunter has. Travis Hunter went second
And
overall.
I looked up. Travis Hunter's the one that says that he might refuse to play if he's not allowed
can't
to play
go both ways.
89,
That's
Emerson
very
Fittipaldi.
Showtime of him.
1990, Ari.
I was going to say it's very woke of him.
Well,
You can't go
91
both
meters,
ways.
92 on the juniors.
I don't think he was claiming to be bisexual, but
You don't know how he identifies.
you got me there.
Zach, while I'm
Why don't
showing
you
off
ask?
the Indy 500 skills, there was some practicing this week at the Speedway.
I heard about it.
There was a mostly event-free day yesterday. Some issues with the tech. Apparently, they couldn't get racing for like an hour and a half because they had no Wi-Fi. The NTT IndyCar Series had no Wi-Fi to put up timing and scoring
In the middle of the city.
and they couldn't use just flags to go run. So they had to wait for an hour and a half.
Indy?
I think
At the Speedway.
Yeah, there's
Oval
testing.
practice
They always
for
do
the
a sprint
500.
test.
Why weren't you there?
I had work to do. So
Could you have went?
I had to work. I had a lot
I
going
really
Work
wanted to.
is
I mentioned
second.
There's only
Living
guy.
is
This
number
man
one.
just rattled off like a dozen winners in a row, and you're questioning his
my commitment.
He only
Why
has
didn't
like
you go?
4 more work days left.
My PTO's planned out too, but
And then the
Just
whole
calling
next month
sick.
he's off.
Dude, I rolled over a week. I've got 6 weeks of PTO to use in the new year.
I got.
I got a lot.
I seriously
I might have
contemplated
6
it.
hours.
I haven't gone over for a test in a while because
Since 2003.
Oh, damn.
He's been there almost like this man's been there since he's 15. He's gonna work there 40 years, but when he turns 50,
I have a gap. I went to college like an idiot for a semester, and I lost 4 years of seniority.
yeah,
Well, you said it. We did it.
Yeah, that's
yeah. He used to
Li-
fix printers.
listen-
Now he sells the
listen,
industry.
kids. Don't go to college. It'll cost you time.
Well,
yeah.
unless you want to become like a,
I mean,
or
it
just-
could.
Says the professor.
It could cost you time, and it's not
or
for
if
everybody.
If you're going to stay with the company, maintain employment while you go to school, so you don't lose your seniority.
In my defense, I never planned on coming back. They brought me back for a summer,
And
and then
he's
I
never
said,
left.
"Well, we'll just
Well, how is it fair you would
we'll just see."
lose your seniority because don't you get to add it all together?
no.
He's 30
That's
some,
dumb.
40,
That's
40
dumb.
years old.
Well, that
Been there
company doesn't
20
exist
some-
anymore.
No, I know.
It's crazy.
I've been bought and sold 4 times.
I graduated from high school as somebody who started out as a pharmacy delivery kid, and then he became like a pharmacist, and so he's never left. So he's 42 or 43 with 26, whatever. He's been working since he was 16 at the same place.
Well, his schooling paid off at least.
So he's had like 6 weeks of vacation since he was like 30.
Yeah.
Good deal if you
Must
can
be
get it.
nice.
Yeah, I got all the vacation time I could possibly need.
No,
Oh,
I can
no,
always
you
use
don't.
whoa. The ability to just burn a week at a time I'd give it
Yeah.
to me.
So Takuma Sato, probably not going to be Pope.
When did he win?
That's
2019.
Takuma has won. He won the 2020 Indy 500.
That's it. The COVID race. We were at your house.
And he won 2017.
16.
No, that was Rossi.
It was 18.
I think he won 2017 and then 2020.
I
He's a
remember.
two-time winner. Nearly won 2012, but sent her a little too hard into turn 1.
Yeah.
And
No.
came out ass first.
No
he didn't
attack,
come
no
out of the
chance.
turn. No
You
attack.
can't
no
say he
chance.
doesn't go hard.
I wanted to talk to Zach about this for a little bit because
Okay.
he entered turn 1 this time faster than anybody had all month. But once again, he didn't come out of turn 1. And a Ray Hall Letterman car has not been fast at Indy for a long damn time. He had the fastest car, and then he wadded it up today.
Oh,
Letterman
What-
needs to pay a little
What
bit more.
the hell?
I don't think that he's dependent on. Oh yeah, he did wad that car up. I haven't seen this.
Poor Zach's been working.
Yeah, and it was so. I'll call her out. So I told my
It was
wife.
a brand new car yesterday.
I'll call my wife. I'm like, hey, I was talking to her. I was like, yeah, I'm really tempted to like take off an hour or two early. I used to keep a lawn chair in the back of my car just
Betsy,
to
that
go to the
L8
track.
from 22.
And
just heads up.
so, and she looked at
Yeah.
me like, don't you even think about it.
It's
And
good
then
vintage.
she sends
What
me
would you pass
pictures.
on?
And she's watching practice on her phone at work.
I was watching practice on my phone at work.
Well, I
Hold
can't
up.
watch stuff on my phone at work.
They have practice on like
On YouTube.
They did a YouTube stream.
Peacock.
That was on YouTube today.
on the cock.
They get
Gordon
the-
John
did
Cock.
they didn't get the initial
you seem
impact.
to have like one thing on your mind
Mason
tonight.
keeps bringing it up.
Did they not get,
Lakers in 5.
did they not get the initial impact on the video? I'm just seeing the aftermath.
They did not have a great view of it. Kyle Larson also crashed today.
Oh, John Cock's one word.
Man, they got Sato's cars. There's nothing left in the back. You can see the engine.
Sato's car was torn up pretty bad. So Gordon Johncock, for those wondering if we're going to steal Connor Daly's bit, he went bankrupt and lost everything to his wife. Poor guy. His last race was the 1992 Indianapolis 500, won by Al Unser Jr.
Unser. He just died, right?
His dad did.
Oh, senior.
Yeah, Al Sr. and Bobby, Uncle Bobby, both have passed.
Uncle Bobby Unser.
Winner of 2 to 3 Indy 500s, depending upon what Mario Andretti tells you.
Oh, right.
One of the greatest
Didn't they
interviews.
just give
if
him
you
the
can
win?
look up an interview with Bobby Unser,
Bobby
they are
Oh, that's
spectacular.
That's a
I knew it was a Bobby.
coming out of.
I can't believe you guys haven't talked basketball at all.
Who?
We're waiting on you.
Who's to talk about?
Who? Where are you from, man?
I
Gordon,
don't watch the NBA.
Gordon
anymore.
Johncock, his first start in the Indy 500 was in a Watson powered by an Offenhauser, finished 5th, 1965. Ran the race until 1992 in a Lola Buick for Ron Hemmelgarn. And 2 wins. So there you go. He's got to be top 10 all time in a number of starts. I know Ed Carpenter just moved up there with like 22, and I would have to.
How many has Ed won?
None yet. 2 poles though. 2 poles.
Here's my thing with Sato though. Yes, did he wad up his primary? Absolutely. Would I still put money on him being the fastest Rahal Letterman Lanigan car based solely on the fact that the guy has got balls he barely can fit in the car? Yes. If anybody can run a backup car and be competitive, it's Sato.
I think he started 22. There was a withdrawal and a disqualification in there. It's a hell of a lot of Sato has been doing this. He's gotten better as he's aged.
Yeah, he's excellent at Indy.
Like
and you won't even know you won't even know he's one of those frustrating guys because you look at you think, well, he was pretty quiet, and then you look and almost every shot of the winner crossing the line,
he's in the picture.
Sato is in the picture, and whether you knew it or not, he is so good at Indy. So yeah, I don't think that's a big step back for him.
So Betsy, the Indiana Pacers.
That's right.
Bones is sitting in the Betsy Mills chair over there with
That's
the Fever
okay.
jersey.
That's all right.
Show up on time and get your chair.
Hey, fair. I finally drove for 3 hours.
Yeah, she wins the record for coming
I
from
did.
What
the
part of
away.
Michigan?
I came from Albion. My partner had her last class.
Oh,
today,
I knew that's
she
where
literally
she was
ran
at. But
home and yeah.
Did you
So
mule anything down?
They would have been here earlier, but they had to stop in Coldwater for 45 minutes.
That's so
cash
funny because when I
transaction.
mention Albion, everyone's like Coldwater, huh? And I'm like, we drive by there, yes, but it's the first
It's our first stop on our way
on
home.
69
That's where-
north of the
That's
state
where
line.
Bish's RV is.
There are a lot of people in Newcastle who are well acquainted with Coldwater. They have told me, so I think that's none of my business. Above my pay grade.
The state could put a plate reader right there at the state line. And
They
just
could
follow
do
people.
so much, and they don't patrol up there at all.
Yeah.
State police don't at all. I've driven
'Cause I
that
don't
road
think
hundreds of times.
Coldwater.
They have better things to
Where's
deal with.
Albany at? Is
Yeah,
that,
I'm grateful for that.
did
Like,
you
I'd rather
say
have the
New
state
York?
police actually.
Yeah.
Good deal, everybody.
Coldwater is where Scott Brayton was from.
I've been to Michigan, I think.
2-time
Twice.
Indy 500 pole
First,
fitter.
Coldwater has a shop called The Dude Abides, which I think is absolutely hilarious. The Dude Abides.
What kind of things do they sell there?
College
like,
Board's got closer.
I've
like-
never been there.
they have like
So-
bowling equipment.
I'm told it's some sort of recreational activity, but I have never entered those doors.
No,
Like-
as a
but I
good,
do know there are people
as a
in
good
Newcastle who've
Republican,
been-
you could never.
Oh, never.
How do you know their doors?
I don't actually.
See,
It could be like a hut.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I think they have to secure the hut legally. That
No,
the
no, I
feds
don't
are
think
pretty
so.
tough. But that's when I drive by next, I'll
We went
peek
to
a gander.
something about those recreational things in Vegas, and it's the world's largest. And we entered it. They have a tattoo studio in it. They have a
Oh,
lounge,
nothing like getting a little stoned and then making bad decisions.
and then like
I've never made a bad
the
decision.
store.
so I'll say that
the
right
store
now.
was like the size of our Rule King.
Yeah.
It was
I
ungodly.
guess it didn't smell like stale popcorn.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't smell like
Was it
that
a-
either.
Was it an old Ames?
It was cool.
Bones, what you said, you've never done anything crazy.
I've
Yeah.
never had a bad decision made while stoned.
I'll say
I'm
this.
just too lazy to fucking
Not
do it.
about. I'll say this. I think I've told folks before. I served as a dispatcher in Middletown for the police station, fire EMS, all that. That was my college job, and I worked with a guy who, honestly, one of the most conservative people I've ever known. And we were working third shift, and he looked at me one night and he was like, "Betsy, I've been on a lot of domestics where there was alcohol involved. I've never been when they were high on weed." And I mean, this guy was like. most conservative Christian. Like, I mean, just
he was just there was an observation. He made
yes,
the
and
other
I
day
was like,
yeah.
that is, and that was easily 20 years ago, but that has stuck with me. It's like,
I mean, I remember seeing
is-
a fun video. I can't remember if it was Top Gear or somebody did a test where they got somebody drunk and had him drive like close situation, like, and then they got somebody stoned and had him drive. And the stone guy wasn't. I mean, he was going to get in trouble because he was going 6 miles an hour. But wasn't going to hit anything hard enough to hurt. The dude was literally like creeping and was very worried about being a good driver, as opposed to everybody kind of thinks of like
yeah. Well,
the Wolf of Wall Street cocaine driver, where you get back and you think you did a great job and you trash the car.
absolutely. Yeah, we should just plan to drive not impaired in any way.
I think a lot of people do weed and they just do it and they sit,
Do
they just
weed.
chill. Yeah.
Don't drive.
Armand Mumbo is no longer going to be a Pope candidate. He's been drafted by the New York Jets.
He was on my list.
From Missouri. Yeah, he's a tackle.
You wanted
$50
him
bucks
in
on
Indy?
that.
I guess maybe he's just going to have to defer his poping opportunities.
Should we check
He's
the
young though.
Do we need to check like the Notre Dame
See what
roster?
See
if
what
they-
Notre Dame has that might have a fighting chance here.
Mateo.
Did you guys ever watch that HBO show, The Young Pope, with Jude Law?
I
Like,
tried-
is he in the running?
I
Because
tried to.
It was a great show.
and I couldn't get into it. I did enjoy Conclave because that was a
Oh.
That was
political
a good
drama.
movie.
Little twist there at the end.
I've heard it's
Cool.
good,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet. It looks good though.
Little
discussing
twist
that
at
on
the end. I don't want to
Bob
oversell it like I did Bob Dylan and the constant cigarette smoking.
I mean, you were a little off on that one.
It was constant cigarette
was
smoking.
not.
In Conclave, is rape finds the Pope?
Is
No,
rape
no one-
fine as the
you
Pope?
can't
I
be
don't know
conclave
that it's
without-
ever fine.
Okay. I just wondered, does he go from Voldemort to the Pope? Like, that's cool, I guess.
The Pope was dead for pretty much all of Conclave.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how they have
I have no-
Conclave.
HBO is putting out some bangers of TV shows recently.
Like what?
The Righteous Gemstones.
You been watching it?
Lately?
Well,
How old is that?
recently. It's a couple years old.
The final season
but
is
the
on
final
now.
season's on now.
Oh.
Final
And it's-
season's on now. If you're into that, then you could go watch yourself some Vice Principals as well.
yes, Vice Principals.
Which is Righteous Gemstones is toned down versus Vice Principals. If you're in the in the HBO world. So the Colts are not going to draft tonight while we're on. The Saints are on the clock now.
Oh,
Wait,
we
the
can
Colts
make
are
it.
drafting tonight?
Yeah, they're drafting.
We've
14.
only made it through
14.
half
Oh.
these notes.
The we are at nearly the end, Mr. Bones. Yeah, the Saints are on the clock now. I'll tell you that the Saints have not drafted a quarterback in the first round in the last 50 years.
well, they need one. Derek
That's
Carr sucks.
fascinating.
The last time they drafted one, do you know who it
May
was,
not
Betsy?
play.
If you're a big NFL fan, who's the last quarterback first
Was it
round?
Archie Manning?
Peyton's daddy.
Boom.
It was the
there's only
last-
thing.
The last time the Saints drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, wow.
It's
I
been
mean,
a
because
minute.
obviously they got breezed by trade from San Diego.
From San Diego, because the
Breezy.
Dolphins thought he was too broken, and
Yeah.
then
Rose Bowl champ.
what's his face flamed
Super
out and
Bowl
had to go coach football at Alabama and said
Saban.
Nick
Saban.
Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a billionaire.
Nick Saban? Satan?
Yeah, Nick Saban.
Nick Satan?
Betsy, I'm glad you made it. Is there
Yeah.
anything that was on your mind? You get an extended opportunity for final
Oh,
thoughts since you made
well,
the journey
Let
all the
me
way
say
down.
a couple things and maybe, I don't know.
You need some
we'll come back around.
rebuttals for things that we talked about.
Sure.
I know you were listening.
On the popes, I think the gentleman Robert Serra is his name. I read about him. He seems to be really fascinating. I think he would be the first black pope. That's kind of cool.
See,
See?
you said no.
And he
candidate,
and,
but-
and
said
like
no.
the political argument I made, I
Yeah.
do believe he's rather conservative. And I'm not saying I carry. I mean, this isn't my. I'm a Methodist, but he seems to have momentum. I don't know.
There was, for the record, we didn't say there hadn't been a black pope, but he would be the first African pope in 1300 years.
Okay, sure. I actually don't know if that's but that is cool, and I think it's cool that like Francis was from South America. Like I think that's
There's
cool.
white
I
people
think
in
that's
Africa.
one day maybe a North American that'd be kind of cool too. But whatever.
our
Regarding gosh,
Peter
what else do you want me
Quadwell,
to talk
yeah,
about
Kirkson.
school board races being partisan. That sounds really shaky to me. Governor's mansion protests are always, I think they just are really crappy photo ops. People look way cooler getting mad at the state house. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, but you can yell at the governor at his house.
Yeah,
where
he's not going to be
there.
there, and
There's
he
a
doesn't
good
care.
chance
But you
you're
can
already-
stand out front.
Yeah.
take
I
it-
personally think we're going to look back at this this year of legislative activity, and I don't think it's going to have gone well. That's just my.
You
gut
don't
feeling.
think?
I know. You guys were all really excited about it. Just kidding, but I'm really concerned about
You
two
so if
things.
you were in the seat you were in 2 years ago
uh-huh
as a county council person,
uh-huh
um, they would have given you all kinds of opportunities to put a lid in.
Yes, the great thing, they're going to hail themselves as fiscal heroes. We cut your taxes. We did all these things, and then we're going to, and then the tiny part is, but we're going to let your locals pass all those taxes instead. We're heroes. We're going to kick the opportunity. And so your neighbors have to look you in the eye and say, hey, yeah, I had to vote to raise our taxes again because it's the only method we have because we don't get that money from the state anymore because they kicked the option to us. I think it's absolute bullshit, and I think it's cowardice.
And what's also going to happen is that now the schools are not going to get the revenue they would have as well.
That's really scary.
You're going to put the lit in place.
Yeah.
And then the schools are going to say, listen, I don't get this money or this money, so now I have to do the referendum.
Yeah. So now we're going to, I mean, here,
it's either that or you're going to
Let's look 3 or 4 years ahead. Are we going to have a combination of Blue River, Shenandoah, and try Knightstown? I'll tell you how that's going to go. Blue River's going to go to Shenandoah. Try's going to go to Knightstown just based on population of the county, and also Newcastle's going to pick up people.
I will say
it's going to destroy a ton of history in our county.
That
legacy
The
is
Moreland
what I
Bobcats
heard.
are not playing much basketball.
That is what I heard was the original plan for the building of the Knightstown High School. That eventually Tri-High would consolidate to Knightstown.
And then we're going to have kids in this county riding the bus for an hour and a half every day.
Yeah.
Horseshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I rode the bus. I lived in the most northeast corner of the Shenandoah district. I rode the bus for a good hour every day, each way. So I've done that.
But yeah, that's what we heard, rumor as Tri-High kids.
Sure.
Oh, that's why Knightstown's got this big high school because we're going to be over there.
Did you like that?
What?
Did you like growing up with that threat?
I didn't even really think of it. I knew that if it was going to happen, it wouldn't be during my tenure.
I wonder how much that's or how many kids.
Knightstown High School doesn't even fill up like a quarter of that high school.
Well, and I think that there is a significant percentage of Tri kids that aren't Tri.
A lot of them are moving. I would say probably 12 to 15%.
I think I was told at one point by somebody that was 20.
Yeah, is moving. Don't live in this Tri school district.
And we talked about Union last week, and Union had a huge percentage of their kids that don't go to their school.
They're Hagerstown kids.
They're online.
Well, online.
That was a whole different. That was still shocking. And we by the way, we looked at Union schools have 9,000 online students.
Correct. If you look up
their budget,
top 10 biggest school corporations,
and their annual budget is $60 million.
I can't believe the state hasn't shut that down.
They just did.
They did.
Oh, did they?
It's in the.
It was a part of the property tax.
2027.
Union schools are going away.
Down.
Well,
but they're going to fight it.
Online nonsense. That's the part that.
Well, they shut the whole. They dissolved the whole corporation. Yeah.
So, I think if you want to put on a little bit of a cynical hat, Betsy, with the property tax storm that just happened, and you're going to see lits increase, and you're going to see school corporations have to raise taxes, I think that is setting the stage for the communities with less than 50,000 people to have to combine down to one school corporation.
Yeah,
where you're going to have Henry County is the perfect example, where you're going to say, hey, and this it'll get sold to you as, hey, you can keep your local schools, nothing has to change, it's just the administration. But damn well 5 years down the line, they're not going to maintain all of those buildings and all of those separate facilities.
I just don't think we're well served by that. I think that completely further disconnects our communities. And I'm not saying, oh, it's because I'm a Raider and a little bit, but I just don't think that serves us well that everybody in the county would have to come into Newcastle or people from Tri have to drive over to Knightstown. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And if we're looking at how we invest in our communities, I just think that's a bad way to go.
We wouldn't.
Rushville does it.
I might be wrong about this, but
Rushville's a third of the size of Henry County, and the vast majority of that is centered in Rushville.
You guys are a little big for your britches.
But what I'm saying
is, it makes sense for Rushville, and also they lost history they care about.
We wouldn't consolidate into two separate corporations. I think we would all end up at Newcastle.
You'd end up one corporation. But as the western sides, this is where the forward-looking stuff has to happen. As you're looking at millions of dollars in investment happening right now in Knightstown, and there's being the expectation of housing growth that's going to happen at 109 and 70, that's going to bring kids in. So that school that's half full or quarter full in Knightstown is going to grow. And even if you said, hey, we're going to abandon these rural schools right now, 10, 15 years down the line, it's not going to be that way. You're going to have you can't just send everybody to Newcastle because Nicetown is going to need a really big school when it becomes a suburban Indianapolis.
Theoretically.
And I
corporation.
think you could argue the same for Shenandoah, honestly, with
Yeah.
Anderson and Daleville. I hate that for the east side of the county, but that is sort of the way the state's growing. So
Theoretically, couldn't you incorporate all those high schools under one corporation and then just leave them as they are?
You could.
There was a bill that didn't, or an amendment.
There was an
whatever, that
offered
tried-
amendment in Ways and Means that would have eliminated in counties with 50,000 people or less, you would have gone down to one school corporation, and then they
Correct.
would have been able to do whatever the hell they want to do.
And that's what's happening, right? Or was that?
That did not get there. The only
Okay.
thing with
Union-
schools that happened was the union school.
Union
eliminated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went right after a union. Somebody went right after.
They said
JD
yeah.
Prescott.
Yes, it's JD Prescott.
is
I
that his
remember the name.
district?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. JD. I think JD did that one.
Yeah.
Well, he won.
What else you got, Betsy? Well, that's what being on the Ways and Means
Just
Committee
splash
does.
myself with ginger ale. It's good. It might be 2 years expired, but it's good.
It does. It's June
and
of
it's
22.
zero
I read
sugar.
it.
It's delicious. I'm excited for the Indiana Fever. Their season's coming up this May, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. They've really retinkered this offseason with a lot of valuable veterans. I think they're going to be a lot tougher. Kaylin Clark has been in the gym. She's absolutely jacked. If you've seen any pictures of her, like she's not going to get tossed around this summer. I think she's going to throw some of her elbows, and I think that's going to be really fun to watch. And we've got Racers in May, but we've got Pacers now. They're in the playoffs up 2-0 against Milwaukee, and they're going to go to Milwaukee tomorrow night. So
I did see that there have been some
Yes,
Pacer
sir.
fans showing up as buck.
yes, oh my gosh.
that
Okay,
is
so
great. Those
how is
guys,
this not perfect trolling? Perfect
Oh.
trolling. Like,
right
how could
behind
you
the
be offended?
goal?
But yeah, 4 guys sitting.
Like Indiana high school basketball
Courtside.
sectional.
But so
Man,
that's
Milwaukee
the best
Bucks.
basketball
We've got
mistake.
Pacers fans wearing hunting gear at the games. I think that's freaking
Yeah.
hilarious. If you can't laugh at
They
that, you're a
just
sad
dress like
person.
they're from Wisconsin. That's what they're doing.
There honestly is nothing in this
Absolutely
state
hilarious.
better than basketball. Like
Yeah.
realistically.
It's a fun time to be in Indiana when you've got good
Yep.
got your good IU and Purdue are
well,
doing
we don't
well,
care about IU.
and Ball State, of course, and Pacers are doing well. Absolutely,
Ball State women's basketball. That's,
Hell yeah.
Other
We
than
made
that,
the
that's
tourney.
it. That's it. That's
yeah. Well, the
everything
boys
else
haven't been
sucks.
very good lately, but I still love Coach Lewis. But yeah, no, I think a lot of basketball in Indianapolis is going to be fun.
Yep.
And I'm going to say Pacers in 5.
Pacers in 5 of this series.
You think they're going to lose one in Wisconsin and have to win
Wisconsin.
it at home?
T-Pain once wrapped that with
how many?
mention.
Is it just 3?
No.
Oh, it's best of
No,
5.
it's best of
No,
five.
so
No,
Pacers in 4. Pacers in 4.
Pacers in 4. So
Yeah.
you think they're going to win both games up there? And
No, I think Milwaukee might win. If it's in 4,
Yeah.
4 takes it, then
No,
You-
Or
you
three
need-
3
takes it.
takes it.
best of 5, 3 takes it. So I think they'll lose. I think they
this
might.
is not a best. What year is this?
Best
So
of
they're
5.
going to win.
No,
they're
the
going to
first
lose.
couple rounds of
I
the
say they
playoffs is
lose
best
game
5.
3. They've got Dame Lillard back, and then Pacers win game 4
I don't think it
in
gets
Milwaukee.
7 until semifinal.
Right.
I
Eastern
think-
Or
Conference
I think it's the
semifinal.
second round that
I
turns to
think
7.
in 1997 it was a 5-game series. I think they're 7-game series now.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
all 7-game series.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think-
they did update that.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they've got
Yeah.
it.
They like
Okay, so
money.
Pacers in
A
5.
decade ago.
The NBA likes money.
Yeah,
They expanded the playoffs.
Gordon Johncock, John
they play
Hancock.
tomorrow, and then
Look at that clock. Lakers
Bones,
in
I
5.
have an update from home.
Yeah.
I need an L.
We don't have an
we have
L.
to say L.
We do have a T.
I need an N.
We got an N, didn't we?
No, I need an S or a T. So I
Yeah.
need
There's
I
an
need
S
a
and
T and an
T.
S.
T.
We do have an N, don't we?
We had a T and an S.
I need a T and an S.
What else do we have?
What is this
An
game?
N? We have
Blanton's
T
bo-
and
Blanton's
S?
bottles.
Pull out your box of goodies. Bones went before the show
Blanton's.
started. He went to the bourbon
Ah, okay.
sale, and
Yeah, all 6 people were there.
he walked away with 3 bottles of Blanton's tonight.
box.
And a Blanton's.
Okay.
He left the Pappy Van Winkle behind.
You did?
No, I leave it out.
He didn't bring it in.
So he's got horsey bottles.
Wasn't he
He
just
That's
a T or an
impressive.
S?
Yeah, we
He
need a
was
T or an
First
S.
one off mine.
All right.
It's always fun at the track though when they're announcing Pacers playoff scores at the track because they'll do that. They'll keep you up to date on Pacers.
Oh,
games
at the game last
track.
year when the Pacers were in the playoffs, and wasn't that
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah, they
That
were
was a
doing
lot
it
of
last
fun.
year.
Yeah, that was
They'll keep
badass.
you up to date on the playoff scores there.
Yeah, and there were people I remember at the 500. There were definitely people in the stands all over watching the game. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Betsy?
Thanks for having me. Sorry it took me forever to get here, but looking
Glad you could
forward
join
to the summer. I'll be around.
It's going to be fun.
Next
Yeah.
time the show starts at 7.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bones.
Actually,
He's rolled in
Hey,
late,
I
like
quit
the last
smoking.
3.
I'm allowed to be an asshole.
well,
You
good.
quit
Hey,
smoking just in time for the taxes to go
honestly, good for you, man. Like that's a tough thing to do.
up.
So
Have you
good on
fully
you.
quit, or you're down to just a couple?
We're just down to a couple still.
Hey, that's all right.
So-
It's a good thing.
There's an S.
If you had less this week than you did last week,
Some days.
okay.
Okay, that's progress.
I'm not giving him shit. That's
He knows what happens. Why he gives me shit. His feelings get hurt.
Zach. You ready for the month of May? Our next show. This is our final show in April.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's our final. It's our final show in April.
next Thursday's the 2nd.
Next
Yeah.
Thursday is
Mhm.
May the 1st.
First? Is it really?
I know. I saw
Mayday.
Bowman post about it. I'm already checking the mini forecast to see what that looks like. It's supposed to cool off. I'm thankful because it's hot. It's been hot. Summer can wait. Block Memorial Day.
It's like 84 degrees.
Yeah, it was balmy.
beautiful.
And muggy today because there's some
Yeah.
storms
Pop
coming
up
through.
shower between when I got home and when I came to the studio.
There
That
was
was
one.
okay. Look, that
Just-
was strange because I was at my son's soccer practice and it spit a little rain, but it didn't like rain there. And then we drove up to the east side of town, trying to see if we could catch some dinner, and it was soaked.
Cod.
No, didn't get caught, but the pavement was wet. And then I came back and at home it was a little bit wet, but I came back here and I noticed when I was on the road that the studio's on, it was dry. So it had rained on like
My house
the
had
east side of
biblical
town.
rain.
What is on
There
the
were-
east side of town for dinner?
Biblical.
There was
Little
there was
Caesars.
ponding in my neighbor's
That's-
yard.
I was about to-
I'm ready.
I
I'm
was
ready.
wondering.
And we
What's
didn't
on
get
the
in
east
because
side
there
of
were
town?
like 15 people in the lobby. I'm like,
Since Rushville got rid of their hot and ready Little Caesars, how much is it now?
it was like $6
Okay.
for a pepperoni.
Damn.
You can get the lunch special for like $5.99.
People hate on it,
That's
but it's
$6.
like it's my kids like it, and
Oh,
for $6
sorry.
or whatever,
That's
it's
a lot
fine.
of food for $6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Pretzel pizza's good.
This rain happened. My neighbor's lawnmowers never stopped. They mowed right through the damn thing.
I haven't mowed yet.
Wow.
My
if you're
yard
looking at the
looks
house to the
like
right or the left.
absolute garbage. But I'm
See
trying
the
to hold
HOA
out.
president?
Hmm?
See the HOA president?
There's no HOA.
The man is old and retired, and that grass has to be cut. Damn it,
Surprised he hasn't cut
Zach.
yours yet.
What do you need young Mason to come over and cut your grass?
No, I mean I'll do it. I just don't feel like doing it yet.
You haven't cut your grass yet?
No.
Dude, it's got to be at least 8 inches tall.
He's
in
not going to get
spots.
fined. He's a
Yeah,
city-
I would not
he's
doubt
a-
it.
No, keep
He's
in
a
mind,
city.
a third
he's
of my
he's an honorary city councilman.
a third of my front
Oh,
yard,
Lord.
a third of my front yard is dirt because they dug it up to fix my sewer. So there's a chunk of it that's not.
That's
And then-
wildflowers.
And then
Sweet.
most of my backyard is protected by cars and camper. You can't even see what's going on back there.
I
Oh, is that
mowed
still an
on
ongoing
Friday,
project
and I
since
mowed on
grass isn't
Sunday.
growing?
No,
Use
the-
your mic,
The
Mo-
permit's done.
Mm.
But
He heard me. It's all that matters.
I worked on
Yeah,
it
screw
a
the
bit on
listeners.
Easter. I got leveled out a little bit more on Easter, and I'll probably get.
I would just buy Roundup and just kill it all.
No, the side I'm going
Paint
to
it
plant. I
green.
want to plant wildflowers, and so it's like the ground cover wildflower. But other than that, farmers market starts downtown. Somebody said that the mayor's destroyed everything and whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of NIMBY stuff going around. What was it? The neighborhood they're trying to develop out by Osborne Park. And somebody
Who's
said
the mayor?
we need to leave that land for the animals. It's a grassy field that used to be farmland.
What the hell happened at Osborne Park?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like the sign caved in?
The arch.
Hey, we will get to this Colts
garbage
pick.
truck hit the arch. So they had to close the
The
entrance
Bears
to
pick is in.
Oh, Chase.
I forgot about that. There's a couple of things. There's one thing we're supposed to talk about last week, the cookies and dinosaurs thing in the parking lot. That was peak Midwest. Yeah, apparently
know
the
that was in
trash truck hit the arch in Osborne Park. For people not familiar with the parks in Henry County or Newcastle, Baker Park and Osborne Park are our two main parks. And they have, I don't know, like, is it civilian conservation
Memorial
Corps kind of
Park?
era arches that go over the entrances?
Oh.
And they hit one with a garbage truck, and it's not
They've
structurally
been there
sound
for
enough to-
100 years.
Yes. They hit 100
The garbage truck hit it today. Came out of nowhere. Yesterday. Hit it yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's bad. It's been damaged bad enough that you can't go through the arch.
This town
Yes.
is, and not due to any political person or whatever, is just literally taking the beating of its life right now between the arch, State Road 3, the side streets that are getting beat up because of State Road 3. And we haven't even started the road work yet. We're just dealing with flood damage. And it's like, I felt like 300 today already felt worse than it has like in the past couple
Which
weeks.
300?
300 by
South.
Walmart, where you have to turn
South.
because of the road closure.
So I know 300 West, which is,
Well, I mean, you get out too far out of town, any other direction, the county roads aren't in great shape, but 300's generally in good shape because it's kind of a truck route.
sure.
But
We've got an offer from Joyce Lewis Morrill, Zach Burcham. If you need any native plants or plant seeds, let her know. She has plenty.
Oh, that's fun.
Zach's plan is to plant wildflowers in his side yard, so he no longer has to mow it.
Yeah, or mow it much less often.
Let's talk about that. I've been studying that a lot.
Yeah.
Like ground cover.
It's a hill and it's a pain to mow anyway. And like it's off around the side and stuff. I was like, I should just do this instead of throwing grass back down there and whatever.
Sure.
The Chicago Bears just took Colston Loveland out of Michigan, a tight end. So, it's exactly the player the Colts needed, and the Bears just took him.
Yeah, that's the guy. I think that's the guy Chris Ballard wanted.
Chase Payton, I hope you sleep well tonight. The Niners are now on the clock.
And Shedeur Sanders has not been drafted.
No.
Well, he can go to San Francisco. That's where his
They're saying he's the best available. Mel's best available is Shedeur Sanders.
Mel's
Tyler Warren will be a Indianapolis Colt. Tyler Warren will be an Indianapolis Colt.
A Penn
That'd be
State
cool.
tight
Penn
end.
State.
That's
Penn
who I
State
think. That's who I really
IND.
think. That's who I think we'll take.
Let's go, Penn
We got
State.
three more.
Zach,
4 more.
give us your update from the Ace Hardware parking lot of this dinosaur event. Then we're gonna wrap up the
This
show.
happened like 2 weeks ago, but this was so hilarious. I get a message on like a Monday from a member of my wife's family, and it's like, "Oh, look at this!" And there's this like little traveling, and it was kind of hilariously small and quaint, like little dinosaur display thing that rolls around. And the admission is you got to buy these cookies, and they're like deep dish cookies. They're not real big, but they're
like.
And I was like,
Jones,
how busy is this going to be? And I roll up, and they got real lucky. It was like a Tuesday afternoon or whatever, and it was like 74 degrees and sunny, and there were hundreds of people hanging out in the Ace Hardware parking lot buying $6 cookies to stare at like 3 little trailers with animatronic dinosaurs on it, and it was the most Midwest small town thing I've ever been a part of. It was fun though. My son, I took one of my kids, the other one didn't want to go. Bought some cookies. They weren't too bad. They're actually pretty good, and hung out in the Ace Hardware parking lot with like hundreds of people. I bet they made a killing. They rolled in for a day, and I bet they just sold. I bet they sold a couple.
I bet they didn't even have a license.
Nobody was buying like 1 or 2. They were buying like 6.
So was the attraction the dinosaurs? Or
the dinosaurs, yeah.
So they pay the dinosaur people.
You pay for the cookies, and the cookies are your admission ticket to the dinosaurs.
But the dinosaurs were
out in the open.
Yeah, that was the point, though, was that they were the draw.
They're out. But the funny thing is, they're out in the open.
Were they out of Michigan? Were they special cookies?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Were they laced?
No. But the
drink
the
the
it's kind of funny.
Kool-Aid.
It's like you obviously got a better picture if you got into a little area where they had a guy checking your tickets, or whatever, to make sure your ticket. But like they were.
What if you ate your ticket already?
They gave you a ticket when you bought the cookies.
Valid question.
But they had like little roped off like cone height with like a rope to keep you from behind it.
Fat kid.
If you were just
I was going to make the comment.
If you're just a general member of the public, you could walk up to the outside of the ropes. So you could walk between the people and the dinosaurs if you really wanted to. It was interesting. It was funny. It was just funny because there's all these people, and it was just a bunch of people my age or with kids that were my kids' age. And I was like, "Yep, what's up?" You knew half the people that were there. It was kind of interesting, but it was chaotic.
Mr. Bones, you ever been to a pop-up dinosaur exhibit?
Pop-up dinosaur cookie shop?
But I was going to say it's kind of like a big Jurassic Park convention.
It was interesting.
So Jurassic Park, but like business, like they have business cards and like ties and
it's
stuff.
like what they want to do in like that 3rd episode of Jurassic. Third.
No, I think a third.
No spoilers. Haven't seen.
Oh, they got
yet.
like 6 of them.
Oh,
not real ones. They got the Rock in it.
that was Jumanji,
I'll never
I
forgive
thought.
the scene where the giant brontosaurus
Jurassic-
left at the dock.
Rock was in it.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
No.
That's horrible.
Chris Pratt.
That's
That scene's
horrible.
horrible.
Yeah, it is brutal.
Yeah, that's one of the Jurassic World movies. They're about to come out with another Jurassic World movie. My son is very excited.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
With an
they're
entirely
awesome
new-
movies, but that
entirely
scene
new
is
cast.
wrecks my soul.
Yeah, I'm like, we didn't need to do that to them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like that scene.
I
I
got
know
left behind.
exactly what scene you're talking about,
I know.
Betsy.
I know.
And it's not cool.
R.I.P. to those who never existed. Yeah.
Apparently, though, there's always a backup island. 'cause
Mr.
they're on,
Bones,
like,
send me a
the
Venmo
fourth movie.
request. Let me know how much I'm going to owe you.
You don't have cash?
Fuck no, I don't have
Ooh,
cash.
that's going to increase the price.
Well, there's no.
Are
charge
you
to Venmo.
seriously charging processing fees?
I don't have Venmo.
PayPal?
I have Cash App.
Oh, that's
Who has Cash
What
App?
year is this?
That's a liberal ploy.
Listen,
That's
I
from the
had
guys
Cash
who-
App.
Cash App is
I got
hood.
Apple Pay, and I take cash.
So he doesn't have iPhone.
I do have. Oh, Jeremiah doesn't have the iPhone.
Yeah, he has some Google shit.
Talking about liberal play.
I have cash.
I'll write you a check.
I don't know that he trusts
Things we
the-
put
the
the
grid.
do not trust column.
I wrote a check to the state of New York. They still haven't cashed it from a week and a half ago.
Why? For down payment for camping?
No, for a
Speedy ticket.
So I have. Here's the thing. I have a boat that's been registered. It was my grandfather's boat.
I once.
Okay.
Mason's driven this
Oh
boat.
no.
And this boat is registered in the state of New York, and it's legally registered in New York. $25 for a 3-year registration sticker. I'll do that for the rest of my life.
Where's the boat at?
It's in my
in the
garage.
back shed.
Oh, okay.
In the back
It's
garage.
here.
It's a Hoosier.
It's traveling.
It's troll motor
That
only.
New York sends me a letter every 3 years and says, "Hey, you want a new sticker for $25?" And I say, "Sure." So I write them a check,
so,
and
so is it good for Indiana then?
I mean, it's like a car.
It's registered.
Okay, I was.
Yeah.
It's got a plate on it.
There's
So-
reciprocity.
So they're like the Montana
Yeah.
boat registration.
Exactly. It's a cheap ass registration it's the one thing in New York that's a value, and they'll give it. I was born in New York State. I registered it in my name in New York. They have my address, and they let me renew it.
They don't have any. They have never flagged the fact that they're saying this registration.
I've done
to
it for more
Indiana.
than a decade.
That's hilarious.
No
And
problem.
that is so New York.
No problem.
Anyway, respect.
Upstate New York.
How's
not
Cash App a
city New
liberal
York.
boy?
Only because the
Cash App.
those
is a-
guys that like were behind Obama like have that big podcast.
There's a lot of people behind Obama. He
yeah,
got like a
okay.
lot of
All right,
votes.
I'll get names.
John Favreau.
Favreau, yeah. His what's I'm spacing the name of it. Their podcast.
Yeah.
Like the Star Wars guy.
No.
it's
Other guy. Podcast
Favreau.
speech writer for Obama guy, not director
Okay.
guy.
Pod Save America.
Pod Save America. Yeah, anyway.
It's good stuff.
Oh.
They like every single commercial they've ever had, they're like
They-
cash up, cash up.
You know what? Okay, you know what annoys me
That
about
got
that?
kickbacks.
I've never listened to that podcast, but they are somehow affiliated with whoever the online app provider is for the Bob and Tom stream. Like if you're listening on their app, and so they play a commercial for that podcast, and it's been the same commercial for like the last year, mentioning the same news tidbits, like so and so called somebody a loser, and then like they always, and it's just like,
Because Spangle doesn't work there anymore. To
I
update it.
guess, yes. I'm both
I want you
So
all to
is he
know
completely out of the world?
he works at IBJ now.
So
which is-
he's, like, done with
it's like-
podcasting?
It's like the,
IBJ?
it's like
Oh,
the
no, he still
BBC
does
of Indianapolis.
podcasting.
Right,
Oh.
of course.
IBJ.
He BJ's.
he runs the he kind of runs the podcast for IBJ.
I want
The
you to
price went
know
up.
Zach BJ's.
how wide Mason's legs are.
What?
Spread under here. Every time I go to put my
Is he
hand down next to
manspreading?
me, it's not that I touch his leg, it's that my hand goes to his inner thigh. He is that spread out back
We're
here.
like that.
He's a little
Where
spread
I
eagle
keep-
back there.
I keep feeling if Mason's shaved or not. Bones, you got anything else for us?
I didn't even say one thing yet.
I'm
Oh, okay. Let's hear, it, man.
I'm sorry. I thought you used your time to tell me I need to have cash.
Oh no, Cash works. I know where
Not
you
for
live.
long.
Yeah, I mean price
Is that a
goes up.
threat?
We'll
No.
get you. You just tell me
I
how much
promise. I
I
promise.
need. And in a few processing days, we'll get you cash.
Don't
I break
dox him.
kneecaps. Just saying. Let's see. What is this week? It is the last week of May, so that means the first Saturday. of
April.
The Derby.
the Derby's coming up.
It's the last week of April.
You know what we're going to do next week on the show? Me and Jerry are going to handicap the race.
We're going to pick horses. I have two that I already have an interest in. Because they're semi-local connections to
Okay.
them, and we'll go over them next week, and
Yeah,
I'll
let's-
elaborate
yeah,
on that.
Let's see where the post positions
Hagerstown?
are.
But there's a Hagerstown connection, and then there's a Macy Broyles boyfriend connection.
Wow.
I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
You're welcome back.
Yeah.
I yield my time.
Thank you to the gentleman from Rushville.
How the fuck do I get home?
You don't. You're trapped here. You remember how you got here through Pendleton? That's your best hope.
Oh,
Oh, Lord in heaven.
this place is like a Twilight Zone.
It's a minnow trap. You can only get in here, and now you're stuck. You can follow Mason. He's going down towards Spice Land.
Yep. I'll probably hit Main Street and just take it all the way at 300.
Okay.
You've got a wife at home waiting on you.
Oh,
Fiance.
Fiance. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's
Was
I know.
your
I know.
choice?
It wasn't
It's like-
yesterday. I know. But
It's
congrats.
huh?
Was it your choice?
I think.
Okay.
Just
checking.
Yeah.
Tricked him into it.
Did you go to Jared?
Where'd you
Dude,
get the
every
ring?
kiss begins with K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tight ass could go to Tiffany's, huh?
Did you
Oh,
get a,
boys, you silly boys and your overpriced diamonds. Good Lord.
All right,
look-
really quick. I have a story. K
Silly.
Jeweler in
Where
Muncie.
we are going to get to the Colts pick.
I would
So-
love to.
So there's this gigantic crowd outside of the jewelry store in Muncie as I'm trying to go to McAllister's.
That's
today.
never a good sign.
No, are you
Muncie.
serious?
And I'm like, why in the hell are all of these people wrapped around the door?
Are they closing?
At the jewelry store? What the hell? What? It's a Thursday. What are these people doing? I want to get this right so that I can say which jewelry store it was, because I know
By
everybody's gonna care.
McAllister's, it's definitely a case. I've been there.
Is it? So the
Yes,
last time I went,
by the old GameStop.
yes.
Yes.
So the last time I went there, the McAllister, the K was still inside the store, inside in the mall. It's
In the
moved
mall,
outside.
yeah.
All right. I haven't needed to buy that kind of jewelry in a while.
What'd you do wrong?
Well, what did he do right?
I bought right the first time. and I
you
haven't had,
are now a sucker in
I
all
haven't-
this, aren't you?
I haven't had to go back.
Yeah.
It was wrapped around the door because I thought, look at all of these romantics of all shapes and sizes. A lot of nerdy looking people wrapped around the store.
So what the hell was going on?
GameStop.
GameStop.
Was it for the Nintendo Switch?
Did they have a drop today?
Which
Oh, no, it went on at midnight.
Yeah.
And I was in 3 different lines on Target, Walmart,
what?
Best Buy
Just a
for
new
the Switch 2, just
Switch
to buy
two.
it.
Yeah,
What's
Switch
it
And
two
all,
orders.
I would either keep it
next
or
generation?
sell it for twice as much.
Well, that's what I did when
Yeah.
So
PlayStation
you have
5s
to
came
get it
out.
before
Yeah.
the tariffs hit.
Anyway, I was in line early on all of those. Didn't matter.
So
Just
I
crazy shit.
stood
I got
out on
friend that
Black
got
Friday
one, yeah.
tracking them down in the Myers app when PlayStation 5s came out, and I said, screw this, I'm going to the store. I waited outside the mall because they wouldn't let you in it till 5 a.m. You could get on the property at 5 a.m., but they didn't open the doors till 9:30. So I was like first in line, and I'm sitting there on the Myers app, and it lets me through. Says there's one available in Anderson. I buy it. And I said, waited 4 hours in line. I said, see you guys. They're like, where are you going? Like, I just got one in
You
Anderson
just
Meyer
stayed in-
and just left.
Sold it,
Oh,
dude.
ooh, don't worry. 2 weeks later, Target had a drop. Me and my dad got 3 of them. We flipped them for like
Heck
$1,100.
No one likes
I've done that a
flippers.
few times. It's
Follow,
nice.
follow Mason
It's
for more
nice.
financial
Not
advice.
obscenely, but just
Yeah.
They crashed Target's website.
Yeah, get
yeah.
better.
Oh, they were all crashed. They were crashed within
Yeah. I have a friend that got one
12:01.
through Walmart.
Jared, last time you played a
12:01.
video
It was
game.
over at 12:01.
Yeah.
He has an
Just
Xbox
saying.
360.
Once I have an Xbox One. I have 2 Xbox 360s.
Oh, it's an Xbox
in
One. That's
storage.
right.
I have an Xbox One that about once every 7 to 8 months I will turn on, say I'm going to play video games. I will let it download an update for 5 hours, and then I'll say I'm lost interest, and I never get back to it.
And that's
You
also
gotta
the only
update.
time he
You gotta
goes in the
update.
living room.
You're a whole lot better than me. Zach, last time you played a video game?
He plays all the time.
Oh,
I play with my kids once in a while, but I have an Xbox that I haven't played. I have an Xbox One. I haven't played for like probably a year and a half, really. I watch TV.
Okay,
I
just
watch
ask. The big
shows.
news of video games, if we're here, Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So Oblivion, Skyrim. Skyrim, which is the decal outside this door.
Oh, I'm
There's
actually,
Skyrim references everywhere in this room.
These are Dakotas.
Yes, they were Dakotas. Yes, our Dakotas.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, up in the corner. The rest of love you, buddy.
I didn't know how that
He's
was
with
going to
yeah,
go.
He's with the Pope now.
it's the Pope now.
Anyway, I love you, man. No, but so the Bethesda, the company that did those games, re-released the previous one to Skyrim, which is called Oblivion, literally on Tuesday. And so this is a 20-year-old game, and it's the records it's shattering with like people buying it, including myself, are massive. So that's really fun. That's what I do now.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty back in the day. Met my financial advisor playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a
that's
story
fun.
for another day.
Evidently,
He's
I'm
been
a-
on. You could go back to the back episodes.
So you guys met in the chat. Hey, are you from IND? Can you give me financial advice, man?
He had a girlfriend that was a nurse, and his buddy played with us all the time. Team deathmatch, and we
All
played
right.
Monday nights for years.
Wow,
And now he's got my thousands.
that's very cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
Mason, I Bones wants to go, so we got to finish this up.
We're waiting for the Colts pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've got-
go,
yeah.
baby. Woo, we made
Yeah,
it.
we're almost there.
Are you want to? Zach, are you okay? Are you gonna freak out on me?
It's just the next one.
I watched. What's the show that just dropped? Man, I'm
We're
really bad
14
with
minutes
The
away
Righteous
from the
Andor
Sims.
season 2 dropped this
Oh.
week. the Star Wars nerds. I'm like 2.5 episodes. I have half an episode of the first drop left. I
swear to God,
that home.
if Chris Ballard trades the pick and Bones made us sit here,
You're gonna flip that table.
Then
he trades out of the first round.
Then we will come back for tomorrow and see what
We will view the second and third rounds.
We're gonna watch it all the way.
We're gonna have
Oh
a
my
Boss Hog
gosh.
Liberty draft party.
Oh God!
I feel like I know you stalled for me, but I appreciate also stalling for the draft. Like, glad to be oriented. With the draft.
I don't.
I have nothing left to say. So 1991 was Rick Mears, 92 Al Unser Jr., 93 Emerson Fittipaldi, 94 Al Unser Jr. again, 95 Jacques Villeneuve, 505 miles.
Keep going.
96 Broken Back, Buddy Lazier, 97 Ari Lindike,
Gordon Johncock.
Now 98 was Eddie Cheever. This is a dark era for the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Yep.
90 because there was a split.
Not a lot of superstars in this.
John
group.
Oreo
There still is.
wrote the book on it.
Oh, shut up. Go to hell.
They are ahead of
Get your
schedule.
ass out of here, man.
They're ahead. Hey, they're ahead of schedule. I think that I heard that there are less than 10,000 grandstand seats available.
It's
and if
sold.
they follow the
Yeah.
current pace, they will.
We're
sell
back,
out
Anybody
baby.
needs a
Walls
ticket
weekend.
stub from 2020's race that was never attended. I have it still sealed in the blue envelope. Don't even know what it looks like.
99 Kenny Brack.
I don't like your
Might need
attitude. Go on.
Simon Pagino is on the cover.
Simon Pagino.
He's in the picture.
I was at that race.
2000
Oh, wait, no, I wasn't. I lied.
was
Elio.
Juan
Yeah, one.
Pablo
Montoya.
Montoya.
Oi.
2001 Elio Castroneves. 2002 Paul Tracy.
Yeah.
Or Elio. You
On the
decide.
Look at Jared spinning his
Hell yeah.
game.
Paul Tracy talked about that girl's feet once, right?
Danica's
He is
nice
weird.
shoes.
Danica's nice shoes.
2003 would have been Gilles de Perrin. That was my first Indy 500 I attended
Rest
in
in
person.
peace.
Oh,
Gilles.
really?
Yeah, 2003.
That was a heroine.
That was
I was 4.
2004. We had an American, Buddy Rice, Phoenix, Arizona. David Letterman's first win. 05,
Chirp, baby.
Dan Weldon. Zach's checking my work.
Dan Weldon.
No, actually,
Hmm.
no.
Wonder what he's
I
up
had it
to.
up here earlier though.
I think he's
Oh.
in Vegas. 2006.
Oh, man.
2006 was almost
It's
Marco
been that kind of
Andretti.
night.
Yeah. That was a low blow, brother. Low blow.
Weldon can't be Pope.
You shot into a grave, man.
Oh, Weldon can't be.
2000,
That was
with the
bad,
Pope.
dude.
2006. I mean, I guess most of them's in Florida now. 2006, Sam Hornish Jr.,
Not Marco Andretti.
not Marco. First last lap pass in the history of the Indy 500. 2007, Dario Franchitti in the rain. Ashley Judd went running down
Mr.
the road
Ashley
in the
Judd.
rain. Yeah.
Oh, man, never a better decision when you dump that
Two-
dead weight.
2000.
Hey.
2008.
You saw her around the track. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
I don't know anything about that. I'm fascinated. I just know she's a great actress.
His current wife seems to be a delight in many
Okay,
ways.
that's cool. That's a history.
There's a lot of these running around up here. 2008, Scott Dixon.
We really don't have to
2009,
wait for the Colts.
Elio
We're right here.
Castroneves.
The pick is in.
in for the Dolphins.
So we might as well.
Yeah,
this is where it's
might
going
as
to
well.
get fuzzy for me, and Zach's going to have to start checking my work.
This is recent shit.
This is where it's hard.
I mean, but how
They can't
absolutely
start
impressive
racing.
you got to this
they
point,
keep
brother.
clicking off. 2010,
Who was the
Is
third president of the
Dario.
United States?
What is this
Frankie.
ad right now?
Not alike.
2011 was
We're
We're
Dan
watching
Weldon
an ad
again.
of the
Yeah.
ESPN
2012,
draft, like,
Dario
just
Franchitti.
wild ass ads.
13 is Tony Kanaan.
Yep.
14, Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Do you want to count backward from recent?
2015. It gets harder the more current they get. 2015, Juan Montoya.
Yeah.
One again. No longer Juan Pablo Montoya. 15 years between wins, by the way.
Biggest spread
Yeah.
between first and second one.
And he only ran like 7 IndyCar races between them.
Dude, he's a monster. of a driver.
2016, Alexander Rossi.
Rossi.
2017, Takuma Sato.
We're not racing this week, right? So I don't need to update this.
Nope, you got
Not till next weekend.
you got a week off. Then we go to Barber.
When does that restart?
Barber, Alabama.
It's constant.
Okay,
So
so I
yeah.
can jump in.
You can jump in now and you'll be ready.
All right.
Where did we leave off?
What the
2017.
hell is Goodell? Is that Goodell?
He's got white sneakers.
Yeah, it's Goodell.
yeah.
What the hell is on his feet?
White
20
sneakers.
2018
$64
DJ
million
Williams.
They look like
a year. You
White
do whatever.
White Iverson.
Willpower.
Yes.
2019, Simon Pagino. 2020,
That was my first race. Was 2019.
2021.
Still waiting for mine.
Elio Castroneves for his fourth.
Four
Not
time.
worth it.
2022.
Doesn't matter.
It's not worth
Marcus Erickson in the Husky Chocolate Honda.
it. He also won.
2023 and 2024. Josef Newgarden.
Hey, Marcus Erickson also won
The Nashville
GP that year.
Music City GP.
We were at the inaugural event.
That's okay. You can win that stuff. Yeah.
That was when it was cool.
I guess I got him. I did everything since 19.
Look, the pick
That
is
was
in.
very, very impressive.
Tyler
too.
Warren. The pick
All right,
is
we're
in.
on the clock.
Colts
Hold the
are
clock.
in.
Oh, Ballard knows. Ballard knows.
They said
We're
they
taking
Tyler
Walker
Warren.
out.
That quick?
Kenneth
No,
Brandt.
he just went to the
Okay.
Dolphins.
So we're
Dolphins.
waiting. We're waiting.
Out of
Okay.
Georgia.
We're taking Tyler
I think you're. No.
Warren.
You'll take
Bones.
Walker out.
Bones. Say it out loud.
Tyler
Bones.
Warren.
Walker.
1946 would have been George Robeson, I think.
What?
First one back after the war. That's the Holman era.
When did Gordon Johncock win again?
Can it even be considered
82.
a real sporting event if it took off time for the war?
Twice.
Yeah, then baseball's out of the question.
Guess who's not?
What?
Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
Never stopped.
So let's talk again about Pacers.
Well, I think the
Any
show's
feelings?
over.
Is it? Oh, okay. So we're just waiting on this.
We're
All right,
still
all right.
on the air.
You're like, let's get the hell out of here.
I'm
All right.
trying to get-
respect.
you know,
respect.
Sato's wreck today, 94 G's.
That's not bad.
That's
All
a
right.
lot.
All
for
right.
it.
Are we ready?
That's a lot for an Asian man.
No.
Are we behind schedule? Is that why you already know the pick?
No, I don't
Oh.
know the pick. I'm just going. Well,
What
way back.
DraftKings says?
Oh, this dude got drafted out of Merrillville, Indiana.
Oh, cool.
Really?
That's
Well,
so you know who else is from Merrillville, Indiana?
Gordon Johncock.
Dan Dockich.
Oh, Lord.
It's everybody's
His
favorite.
brother's very sweet.
I'm
He was a
blocked by him
failure
on
at
Twitter.
IU.
is he on True Social now?
His brother's like the nicest dude in Indianapolis.
We're all just waiting patiently to find out.
It's
that
always
we
fun to
traded
bring
this
up
pick.
somebody and you're like, you know who's the nicest guy? Their brother.
Brother.
Not you.
He's
Not
like
you.
active in politics, but he's cool.
Should you tip at Kroger?
What?
At the cash at the drive-through line when they bring you the food?
No.
At Kroger?
You mean like the
What drive-thru?
You mean like
Click
the
list.
pickup?
The click list line.
Okay.
Why?
Will they take it?
I don't know. I'm asking. Should
How
you?
lazy are you that you cannot?
I
walk
mean,
into
I feel
Kroger?
like you're shamed into it.
I-
But like, I don't want to be shamed at 20%. I'll take on a buck or two.
Is there an opportunity?
that
We
people?
used
tip them, or does
to
it
when
have to be cash?
I worked at Kroger and I used to get tips like for helping older people
Yeah,
out.
once
To
in a
their,
while.
that's
the best.
understandable.
So you didn't expect it on every order?
No,
Well,
Okay,
I
because
didn't
I
do
feel
that.
like
I didn't do
every
that.
time we're shamed into tipping.
No.
I hate it.
Ray does the Walmart
Especially when they're
pickup.
getting like
Tyler
way more-
Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Told you.
Oh,
told
Penn
you.
State, baby.
Tyler Warren.
Well,
State College, Indianapolis.
Told you.
I think
I
it's,
work for Penn State, obviously.
Tight
Yeah.
end.
Tyler
tight end,
Warren is a
tight
Colt.
end.
Yep, that's who they wanted.
Okay.
That's who Ballard wanted all
Yep.
along. He had
We've got the
scope the whole
perfect
time.
quarterback for that.
Today, he's from Virginia.
I will say Beaver Stadium is a whole different atmosphere. That
Okay, have you
place-
been there?
Yes.
Okay.
You watched Garth Brooks.
Very
there.
good.
No, it was Luke. But it is a whole.
you were there for a concert,
Yeah.
not for a
And
football
it
game.
is.
All right, brother, come back for a
it's-
football game.
No,
all
I
right?
don't care about the football.
Oh,
but
well,
that
that's
place is
adorable.
It's cold.
I bet
You went to a
someone from Penn
concert
State
at
could
Beaver
be
State,
Final-
thinking you know the lay of the land.
Final thoughts for me.
There's
I
nowhere
went-
to park. At
I
the
went
place.
to the Kroger.
No, for sure.
Sarah had put in a click list order. I said, "Here's the problem. I don't have any cash to tip them. I also don't have any cash for Bones." And I said, "Well, can you tip online?" No. And then she
You don't
says,
tip them.
"I don't think you're allowed to tip them at all. You go to the website, and for their delivery people, they're not allowed to tip. I don't know if you're allowed. I think I've done it
You don't
before,
tip.
though.
I mean, my only issue is that like
Final thoughts. I'll
Yeah.
put my wedding registry in the show notes or whatever.
are you
I'll
going
take whatever you get.
Where are you going for your honeymoon?
We haven't decided. We've narrowed it down from Jamaica and St. Lucia.
St.
Okay.
Lucia.
So you're not going to be like one of those people.
You're going to go to the
I'm not
Pitons?
going to Florida.
I mean, one of my favorite things is when you see people like in Gatlinburg and they've got
Do you
like the
need someone
cash
to
app of their
officiate the
Venmo
wedding?
on the back of their car.
I've done 2 so far.
No,
I've done like 8.
All right,
You ever
fine.
been to the Pitons?
I was at one. I was at
This looks
2.
like
I was one in this room,
two-
and I was one that
2 big offset
Betsy
ones right there.
officiated.
No, let me say that. If you want somebody good to officiate your wedding, somebody who knows you, Jared would be amazing.
If you want someone who doesn't really give a shit, I'm your man.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. No.
We have somebody.
No.
And
I've done like 8 of them. Like, you want somebody who knows you, who can tell your story, who can just like, you don't want some basic ass person who just like.
No, we didn't just hire a preacher. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
We know who it is.
No, get somebody who officially
fuckwad to be your wife.
Yeah, don't listen to that man. That man is a little bit right now. He's a little bit torn asunder. Like, don't listen to his good advice about romance.
And he's really questioning his chances of becoming pope.
Yeah, he's just all over the place. Don't listen.
We'll be back Thursday of next week. Thanks for enjoying the first 14 picks of the NFL draft here on Boss Hog. Good God.
Bye.
Yeah.